Chapter 1134. Relax, it won't be long before our son releases you. By then, you'll be home before you even see it. Hearing this, Huiyun and little Lu nodded in response. Alright, you can do as you see fit. Alright. With a wave of his hand, Huiyun, Lin Feng, Lu Changtian, and the others all disappeared into the system space. Seeing that the matter was settled, Lin Rei entered the system space with his divine telekinesis and arrived at the space where Huiyun and the others were. Mom, you guys just stay here for a while. It'll be done soon. As he spoke, Lin Rei was still a little worried. He looked up at the sky and communicated with the little dragon with his divine telekinesis. Help me keep an eye on them. Although there's no danger here, who knows if those monsters will go crazy. F***ck, what do you take me for? The little dragon's voice appeared, but its tone was not so pleasant. My cultivation is stronger than yours, and you actually want me to guard the door for you. The more he spoke, the angrier the little dragon became. Of course, this was only on the surface. He had already agreed to it in his heart. Of course, even if Lin Rei did not say anything, he would still keep an eye on them. He understood Lin Rei's temper very well. If Huiyun and the others were harmed in the slightest, all the monsters in the system would be implicated. Thinking back to the time when he caught these monsters, he spent a lot of effort. It was not worth it if they were all exterminated because of a small disappearance. Alright, I'll make it up to you when we get to the Holy Realm. Alright. That's it, I'll be leaving first. Without waiting for the little dragon to finish speaking, Lin Rei left the system as if he was escaping. Huiyun and the others did not know about the conversation between Lin Rei and the little dragon. In the eyes of Huiyun and the others, Lin Rei was just standing there in a daze for a few seconds. They were even more clueless about the existence of the little dragon. You bastard! Seeing Lin Rei running away so fast, the little dragon could not help but sneer and retreat. However, his divine sense had always been on the place where Huiyun and the others were. In the outside world, he returned to his true form and looked down at the scarlet flame tiger beneath him. Now that there were only two of them left, they had more freedom to move around. The scarlet flame tiger's cultivation was only one step away from becoming a peak hierarch. Even in the divine world, it was rare to see a peak hierarch demonic beast. Moreover, the scarlet flaming tiger's cultivation was very low. If it wasn't for its dragon bloodline and Lin Rei's accumulation of heavenly treasures over the years, the scarlet flaming tiger wouldn't have reached this level. Let's go. Yes. Awoo! Hearing Lin Rei's words, the scarlet flaming tiger took a step forward and arrived in front of Lin Rei. Its body suddenly expanded. Of course, this was only enough for Lin Rei to call physical strength. After all, his cultivation was too strong. If he released all of his physical strength, this world might not be able to withstand it. Heh! The scarlet flaming tiger's actions fell into Lin Rei's eyes. A light flashed and a smile appeared on his face. He jumped onto the scarlet flaming tiger's body. Yes, Lian City. As if wanting Lin Rei's praise, the scarlet flaming tiger instantly raised its head and said, Good, Brother Lei, you did well. My speed is very fast now. Lin Rei understood the scarlet flaming tiger's intentions and quickly smiled and nodded his head. Yes, our little tiger is really great. I'm afraid that even the Dragon Clan would not dare to be arrogant in front of you. Of course. Lin Rei's words were exactly what the scarlet flaming tiger was thinking. It became even more proud and took a step forward. The scarlet flaming tiger stepped on the sky and rushed towards the Lian city that Lin Rei mentioned. As a hierarch, the scarlet flaming tiger could envelop the entire destiny world by releasing a little bit of its divine sense. Finding a Lian city was a piece of cake. In the divine world, inside the Xuanzong Sect's conference hall, Lin Yun sat on the main seat with a worried expression on his face. It was as if he had encountered something bad. Beside him, Kuei Gang looked at the worried expression on Lin Yun's face and laughed inwardly. I didn't think that the young master would have a time when he was worried. He had been by Lin Yun's side all these years, watching Lin Yun grow step by step from a little immortal to the current supremacy of a region. He could even aspire to be the supremacy of the entire holy world. But now, he was worried to such an extent because of a small matter. Uncle Gang, what do you think I should do? Lin Yun did not turn his head. Instead, he lowered his head and frowned. The indescribable feeling in his heart made him uncomfortable. This little girl, how old is she? She went out for a spin and came back to tell me that she's going to marry that bastard. How long has it been? Lin Yun's heart was stifled as he thought about it. Kuei Gang understood the situation very well. However, this was Lin Yun's family matter after all. Although he held a high position in the Xuanzong sect, he did not dare to meddle in this matter. Uncle Gang, just tell me. Now that father is not by my side, you're the only one left. What do you think I should do? That little girl's wings have hardened now, and she actually dared to go against her father for a bastard she just met. Tell me, why did I let her go out to gain experience? Lin Yun's heart was stifled as he thought about it. If he had known this would happen, he would never have let his beloved daughter go out to gain experience. Now, after a few days of going out, she brought back a pretty boy who kept saying that she wanted to marry him. As for Lin Yun, he did not usually see his daughter. Now that his daughter said that she wanted to leave him and get married, how could Lin Yun bear it? Of course, the most important thing was that he did not know anything about that bastard. His family matters were not easy to get to know. How could he let go of his precious daughter so easily? The most important thing was that Lin Rei did not come back. As her grandfather, he did not dare to settle this matter. Sigh. I'm so worried. Lin Yun let out a long sigh. In his heart, this was more tiring than fighting a hierarch cultivator. Seeing how worried Lin Yun was, Kuei Gang couldn't stand it any longer. Lin Yun had been so busy managing the profound sect that he didn't even have time to rest. Even his own wife was neglected. Now that he encountered this problem. TSK, alright, this matter is young master's own fault, but, as he spoke, he thought for a moment and then continued, if young master is here, young master will definitely investigate the other party's identity thoroughly and let young master decide based on that person's character. If the other party is benevolent and has no problem with his character, after a long period of investigation, he might be able to marry his daughter off. If the other party's character is not good and his family matters are not good, there is no need to think too much. If the other party pesters you, just kill him and end it all. Yes, Uncle Gang, your idea is very good. Lin Yun's eyes lit up and a smile appeared on his face. Obviously, he was very optimistic about this idea. I'm joking. Lin Yun's smile made Kuei Gang's heart tremble and his expression freeze. I'm not joking. Since this idea is proposed by Uncle Gang, then I'll leave it to you. After all, you also watched Ling grow up. You don't want Ling to marry someone with ulterior motives, right? Chapter 1135. His expression turned even uglier. He was just saying it out of goodwill, but he didn't expect this matter to fall on his head due to a freak combination of factors. Thinking about the consequences if he messed up this matter and Lin Rei found out, he couldn't help but feel a chill in his heart. Linley, who was in the Destiny realm, didn't know that not long after he left, his granddaughter was about to get married. If Lin Rei found out, the family of the man Lin Ling fancied would suffer a calamity. Lin Rei wouldn't be able to stop himself from investigating the other party's 18 generations of ancestors. Moreover, just like Kuei said, if the other party's family wasn't good and the man had impure intentions towards Lin Ling the consequences would be unimaginable. Directly killing him would be too easy. pulling out his tendons, flaying his skin, and imprisoning his soul to suffer the corrosion of the illusory spirit blood fire was the most terrifying thing. Heavenly Fate World, Lien City's Gate. In just half an hour, the Scarlet Flame Tiger carried Lin Ray to this place. Looking at the city that gave birth to him, his home, he felt a sense of homecoming. Finally back. In his heart, Lin Ray considered this place as his home. But even so, he had to leave. He had an unfinished mission and his wife in the divine world. Brother Lay, this place. Looking at the dilapidated city, the Scarlet Flame Tiger couldn't hide the disdain in his eyes. Ah, you! How could Lin Ray not understand the Scarlet Flame Tiger's expression? Indeed, when compared to the immortal realm, the god realm, or even the lowest level of cities in the cultivation world, this place couldn't compare at all. However, in Linley's eyes, this was his home, his roots. Although compared to those pavilions and magnificent cities, this place couldn't be considered much. Linley had no choice. He just felt that this place was better than those places. All right, don't think too much, let's go. He didn't say anything else and walked towards the city with the same smile on his face. The Crimson Flame Tiger had returned to its original puppy form. However, it was still an ultimate god realm demonic beast. No matter how hard it tried to hide its aura, it could not hide its aura that had merged with heaven and earth. Within the city, the scenery was still the same. It was exactly the same as when he left. It was still bustling with activity. There were people hawking their wares, setting up stalls, and soliciting business. It was still the same as before. He still remembered how he had spared no effort in order to escape back then. He had thought of everything he could think of. Now that he thought about it, it was really funny. Brother Lay, I wanna eat that. Just as Lin Ray was reminiscing about his childhood, the Crimson Flame Tiger's voice came from the bathroom, pulling Lin Ray back from his memories. Which one? He lowered his head and bent down to pick up the Scarlet Flame Tiger as he asked. Is that it? As he spoke, he went to the stall at the side. The stall was filled with fruits, and the aroma of the fruits assailed his nostrils. Even Lin Ray was tempted to pick them up and taste them. All right. Nodding his head, he went to the front of the fruit stall and picked up a fruit. That's not right. Why have I never seen this fruit before? The fragrance is so strong. What is it? Seeing Lin Ray's puzzled expression and the question that came out of his mouth, the stall owner asked, You must be from another city, right? This thing is a specialty of our city. It only appeared a few years ago. I have never seen it before. However, it seems like only our city has it within a radius of 10,000 li. That's why it's listed as a specialty. Not knowing what Lin Ray was going to say, the stall owner interrupted Lin Ray's words and began to tell Lin Ray enthusiastically. When this thing first appeared, no one knew its name. Later on, everyone called it Six Mango. Don't look down on it because it's small. It's very delicious. What do you mean by that? This old lady is not a cultured person, but this old lady promises that as long as you eat it, you'll be able to eat it. You'll definitely want to eat a second one. Saying that, she stretched out her hand. Grow it. If it's not sweet, it's free. Looking at the mango in his hand, and then at the excited expression on the stall owner's face, Linley didn't decline any further. All right, since that's the case, then this little one will be disrespectful. Saying that, he placed the 6 mango in his hand at the corner of his mouth. He opened his mouth and took a small bite before chewing. This taste. What's wrong, Brother Lay? Hearing Lin Ray's exclamation, the Scarlet Flame Tiger transmitted its voice to him. This taste is very good. Although there is no spiritual energy flowing through the fruit, the taste is simply too good. Saying that, he opened his mouth and swallowed the 6 mango in his hand. In response, the Scarlet Flame Tiger in his arms could not help but want to rush up and try the 6 mango that even Lin Ray thought was delicious. Of course, it also had this thought. However, just as this thought appeared, it was pushed back down by Lin Rei's palm. Boss, this fruit is very delicious. How about this? You can send all of these fruits to the Lin family. When the time comes, you can say that Lin Rei asked you to send them. As for the money, saying that, he reached into his bosom and took out a gold coin. He handed it to the boss. Here, this is the money for the fruit. As for the rest, just treat it as your travel expenses. Ah? Lin family? You are? The Lin family was very famous in Lian City. Currently, the Lin family was the largest family in Lian City. Who did not know of them? This one is Lin Rei, a descendant of the Lin family. Lin Rei bowed and said, So it's like that. So you're a member of the Lin family. The old woman had an expression of understanding. However, Lin Rei saw a trace of something wrong from the old woman's expression. What's going on? This old man, Brother Lei, I want to eat, I want to eat. Just as Lin Rei was strangely looking at the old man, the Scarlet Flame Tiger's noisy voice appeared in his mind and woke him up. Okay. Here you go. Lin Rei doted on the little dragon very much. He immediately took some 6 mangoes from the stall and left. And delicious. This fruit is too delicious. It's much better than the god fruits from the god realm. Finally, the Scarlet Flame Tiger ate the fruit. At this moment, it finally understood why Lin Rei cried out in surprise. However, Lin Rei did not know that not long after he left, the originally excited old man's expression suddenly changed. His expression was filled with hatred that made one's heart tremble. Lin family, Lin Rei, Lin family. Previously, I thought that the Long family was already heartless enough. Who would have thought that the Lin family is gone? The originally suppressed Lin family is even more hateful than the Long family. Despicable. Thinking about all the things that the Lin family had done in this short period of time, a wave of hatred rose in her heart. Thinking about how she had just sold her fruit to the Lin family, she felt very disgusted in her heart. Ai, forget it, old woman. The Lin family is too powerful. We can't afford to offend them. On the side, when the old man who had also set up the stall heard the old woman's words, a trace of tears flowed out of his eyes. The world is heartless and treats all living things as straw dogs. This is the way of the world. Who can be blamed for it? Chapter 1136. Lin Rei, who was far away, didn't know what the two were talking about. At this moment, Lin Rei was enjoying himself as he strolled around. Of course, the main reason was because the Scarlet Flame Tiger was making a racket, eating this and looking at that. However, along the way, Lin Rei also ate quite a bit. Although the Scarlet Flame Tiger was being greedy at first, slowly, it became Lin Rei strolling around. Along the way, Linley would stop every now and then. When he came across a stall with good food, he would stop to try it. When he came across something interesting, he would stop as well. Just like that, Linley, who should have been able to reach his destination in an instant, ended up spending 4 to 6 hours. It could be said that all of the delicacies of Lian City had been swept clean by Linley. Humph, Brother Lei, when did you become so greedy? I remember when we were in the divine realm, whether it was the cultivation world, the immortal world, or the divine realm, you hated shopping the most, not to mention eating all the way here. The Scarlet Flame Tiger was full of doubts. He really didn't understand. Why did Lin Rei become like this? Could it be that after living in this world for more than 10 years and being reborn, he brought some of Lin Rei's characteristics back to this world? Scarlet Flame Tiger, how could you think like this? He really couldn't think of any other reason to explain Lin Rei's current behavior. Hearing Little Tiger's words, Lin Rei was stunned. However, after thinking about it, he seemed to have changed a lot. However, Lin Rei didn't feel bad about this change. On the contrary, Lin Rei felt that his body was much more relaxed. Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. This is my home in this world. Now that they were out of the courtyard, Lin Rei stopped and turned to look at the courtyard's gate. He pointed at the place and introduced it to Little Tiger. As Lin Rei spoke, he looked at the direction he pointed. A courtyard gate with a plaque of Lin Province appeared in the Scarlet Flame Tiger's line of sight. There were 2 golden lions sitting in front of the entrance. The entrance was red, and the signboard with the words Lin Province was also very high-end and classy. It was very different from when he left home in the past. How should he put it? Back then, the Lin family could be said to be low-key, luxurious, and cultured. To put it bluntly, they didn't flaunt their wealth. However, when he saw the front door of the Lin family, Lin Rei was stunned. There were only 4 words in his mind. "This is my home? What happened?" Looking at this unfamiliar door, Lin Rei was slightly puzzled. Although it was because of Lu Changtian's help that he got rid of Long Ming's entanglement and pushed the Lin family to the top of Lian City, but Lu Changtian didn't seem to have said that the Lin family had become so tasteless and high-profile. "What's wrong, Brother Lei?" Sensing Lin Rei's abnormal behavior, Xiao Hu spoke. "Oh, it's nothing. I'm just a little surprised. I feel a little strange. Maybe I'm overthinking." As he spoke, a strange expression flashed across his face. Then, he became clear-headed. "Then let's go in quickly. I want to see what the place Brother Lei came from is like." The Scarlet Flame Tiger didn't notice the strange expression on Lin Rei's face. He only looked as if he wanted to see what was going on. "Hey, you little guy." He smiled and shook his head. "Okay, I'll go in now." Then, he walked into the Lin family. Although he had 1,000 doubts in his heart, he didn't think too much about it. Clang! Just as Lin Rei reached the front door, a scene that stunned Lin Rei appeared. When Lin Rei approached the door, the guards in front of the door crossed their swords and blocked Lin Rei's path. "Who are you? A brother of the Lin family. How can you barge in? Are you tired of living?" Seeing the 2 of them acting like this, Lin Rei frowned. His face darkened. Although he left, it shouldn't be to the extent that the guards didn't recognize him. What's more, the cultivation levels of the 2 guards were not weak. Linley was even more puzzled. He knew about this world. How could the guards of a small place like this have such cultivation levels? Furthermore, this was Linley's home. He knew very well that when he left home, the guards didn't even have cultivation levels. But now the more he thought about it, the more he thought about the various signs along the way. His heart sank and a bad premonition surged in his heart. "Oh, bastard, how dare you disrespect Brother Lei? You're courting death." The Scarlet Flame Tiger roared. In the next moment, the Scarlet Flame Tiger's figure turned into a ray of light and disappeared into Lin Rei's arms. Poochie, when they saw the Scarlet Flame Tiger, it was already inside the door. The 2 guards at the door were already lying on the ground. A trace of blood gushed out from their mouth. "Hey, you little guy. Here, without my permission, you're not allowed to hurt anyone. Do you understand?" Looking at the 2 guards, Lin Rei helplessly smiled and stopped it. "Oh, I'll listen to Brother Lei." Although it didn't understand, the Scarlet Flame Tiger still agreed. In its heart, Lin Rei's words were an imperial edict. "All right, let's go." Stepping into the Lin family, Lin Rei didn't reprimand Little Tiger's actions. On the contrary, he reached out his hand and Little Tiger's body appeared uncontrollably in Lin Rei's arms. Lin Rei's hand kept stroking Little Tiger's head. Little Tiger also had a comfortable expression. Only Lin Rei would dare to do this. The Scarlet Flame Tiger was a godly venerable rank monster. Who would dare to do this to it? Although the Lin family hadn't returned, it was still easy to find the reception hall. However, what puzzled Lin Rei was that he didn't see any guards or maids along the way. Even in this Lin province, Lin Rei couldn't sense the aura of his grandfather and 4th uncle. What's going on? Did they go out? That's not right. Where could the old master have gone? Moreover, Hasn't the old master been protecting first uncle and the others? This problem could be explained even more. Something had happened to the Lin family and it wasn't a small matter. It was even possible that his grandfather and uncle had met with an accident. Thinking about it, his face darkened. His divine sense instantly rushed out and enveloped the entire Lin family. Found it. Not too far away, Linley found a girl dressed like a servant, who was seated by the side of a pond. Retracting his divine sense, his figure flashed. In the next moment, Lin Ray's figure appeared beside the girl in his divine sense. Looking at the girl, Lin Ray didn't recognize her. He hadn't even seen her before in the Lin family. Who are you? A maid in this residence? Do you know what happened in this Lin province? As soon as Linley finished speaking, a startled cry rang out from the woman's mouth. Turning her head, she looked at Lin Ray and quickly retreated. She only stopped when she felt something. Who are you? Why did you appear in my Lin province? Speak, what do you want? One question after another came out of the girl's mouth. Lin Ray was stunned. Chapter 1137. Little girl, I think I asked you first. Out of courtesy, you have to answer my question first before I answer yours. And, as he spoke, Linley carefully sized up the woman. After confirming that he had never seen her before, he continued, I've never seen you in the Lin family. I can tell you that you've only just arrived here. But you said you're from the Lin family. This means that you're either a direct descendant of the Lin family, and I know all of them, or you're from a side branch. However, the Lin family seems to have a rule that side branches can't appear in the backyard of the Lin family. Speak, who are you? Lin Ray questioned her word by word. His voice grew louder and louder, to the point that the girl in front of him was stunned. It's fine, speak slowly. Seeing that the girl was stunned, Lin Ray found a clean place to sit down. A bottle of wine appeared in Lin Ray's hand out of thin air. He opened the lid and took a big gulp of wine. You. Coming back to her senses, she looked at Lin Ray. The girl didn't know who this man was, but from the information just now, he might be a member of the Lin family. However, she had never seen him before. She was puzzled. I'm Lin Ruashi, the daughter of the third elder of the Lin family, Lin Ji. Lin Ruashi introduced herself with an indescribable pride on her face. It was as if being the daughter of the third elder of the Lin family was something to be proud of. However, Lin Ray was stunned by Lin Ruashi's words. Third elder? What a joke, he was born in the Lin family. He had never heard of the existence of the third elder. Furthermore, in the Lin family, other than his grandfather, there were only his uncles. Other than that, there were only a few side branches. Where did the third elder come from? At this moment, Lin Ray was even more certain that something must have happened to the Lin family. Otherwise, why would the position of the third elder appear? His originally serious expression became even more serious. He raised his head and looked at Lin Ruashi. A faint, killing intent flashed between his brows. Lin Ruashi, not a bad name. But, from what I know, the Lin family doesn't have the position of the third elder. As for your father, Lin Ji, I've never heard of him. Tell me, who's in charge of the Lin family now? Where's the fourth master of the Lin family? Also, what about the elders of the Lin family? I remember that the Lin family had an old butler named Lin Zhong. Why didn't I sense his aura along the way? You, who are you? Hearing Lin Ray's words, the woman's expression changed drastically. She could not help but back away, her face filled with vigilance. She knew the fourth master of the Lin family, and she knew even more about that old housekeeper Lin Zhong. It was precisely because she knew all of these people that she was so sleepy, surprised, and even shocked. That shouldn't be the case. The people from that branch still asked about it. Didn't they say that they had all been swapped out? Thinking of this, she raised her head to look at Lin Ray. Recalling that there was no man in the portrait, she felt slightly relieved. Forcing herself to calm down, she raised her head to look at Lin Ray and replied, I don't know who you are, but what I want to say is that it's currently under the control of our branch. As for the fourth master and the others you mentioned, I'm sorry, but this is a Lin family secret. I can't say anything. So, you know now. Since you're not a member of the Lin family, you should leave quickly. This time, I'll pretend that I didn't see you. Having said that, she turned around and was about to leave. Your branch? From the message just now, Lin Ray understood that fourth uncle and the others must be in danger. However, he was more curious about the branch that Lin Ruashi mentioned. Lin Ruashi did not reply and continued to walk forward. Since you don't want to say, then stay. Raising his hand, a beam of light shot out from Lin Ray's finger. The light flashed and rushed into Lin Ruashi's body at an incredible speed. What's going on? Why can't I move? The moment the light disappeared from Lin Ruashi's body, Lin Ruashi, who was about to leave, suddenly froze in place. No matter what she did, she couldn't move her body at all. Humph, little girl, acting so arrogant in front of this sovereign. Do you really think this sovereign is easy to bully? Looking at Lin Ruashi, Lin Ray coldly snorted. With a thought, Lin Ray appeared in the system in the next instant. At this moment, Hui Yun and Lin Feng were sitting together in silence. Neither of them said a word. They just sat together quietly and looked up at the sky. The scenery behind them was very peaceful. Looking at the two of them, Lin Ray was stunned. Then, he came back to his senses and walked behind his parent. He coughed lightly and said, Dad, Mom. Hearing their son's voice, the two of them came back to their senses and stood up. When they turned around and saw Lin Ray, their faces were full of smiles. They were very happy. Son, why are you here? Are you home? Lin Feng asked with an indescribable excitement on his face. As the old saying goes, one should not travel far when one's parents are at home. Now that he had left for so many years, how could he not be excited when he was home? Looking at his father's expression, Lin Ray's heart was filled with panic. Although he didn't know if fourth uncle and the others had stopped them, if they were really in danger, based on the current situation, his father would definitely be very sad. Forget it, let's not let Dad know about this for now. Looking at his father's excited expression, Lin Ray hid the matter of fourth uncle and the others. Dad, do you know about the other bloodline of the Lin family? Now, Lin Ray was desperate. He didn't know if his father knew about it, but he was sure that his mother, Hui Yun, definitely didn't know. This was because she had never mentioned the other bloodline of the Lin family. If it weren't for today's incident, he was afraid that he would never know about it. What, the other bloodline of the Lin family? Hearing this, Lin Feng's expression changed abruptly. His original smile disappeared without a trace, and was replaced by fear. Ray, how did you know about the other bloodline of the Lin family? Lin Feng asked. Looks like it's true. Looking at his father's reaction, Lin Ray knew that Lin Ruashi was telling the truth. There really was another bloodline of the Lin family. Moreover, looking at his father's expression, this other bloodline of the Lin family seemed to be very terrifying. Ray, hurry up and tell me, how did you know about the other bloodline of the Lin family? I don't remember telling you about this. Yun, did you tell Ray about this? Seeing that Lin Ray was silent, Lin Feng turned his head to look at his wife. However, Hui Yun was also stunned. It was obvious that she was also very confused about this matter. No. After replying, she lifted her head to look at Lin Ray. Ray, how did you know about this? I don't remember mentioning it to you. Moreover, only the direct descendants of the Lin family know about the other bloodline of the Lin family, and they are all elders. You, looking at the two of them asking so nervously, Lin Ray was dumbfounded. He was the only one who didn't know about this matter. Hurry up and tell me, how did you know? Chapter 1138. Hui Yun and Lin Feng could no longer remain calm. Lin Ray didn't understand. Wasn't it just another branch of the Lin family? Why were they so afraid? Seeing the fear on his mother's face, Lin Ray didn't hesitate to say, "It's like this. When I returned to the Lin family, I heard grandfather mention that another branch of the Lin family was coming. I asked grandfather what was going on, but he refused to say. So, I had no choice but to ask you." Lin Ray didn't want to lie. However, before this matter was resolved, and before he found fourth uncle and the others, he couldn't let them out. Did grandfather say that? Lin Feng and Hui Yun looked at Lin Ray in disbelief. Normally, this matter couldn't be said out loud. Even if the other branch of the Lin family was coming, they wouldn't tell a junior, even if Lin Ray was powerful. But now, yes, grandfather said that. Can you tell me what's going on with the other branch of the Lin family? Linley asked. He really wanted to know what was so terrifying about this so-called other bloodline of the Lin clan that these two were so terrified of. The other branch, sigh. He sighed and relaxed. He looked at his wife beside him and said slowly, "The other branch of the Lin family actually existed 1,000 years ago. The Lin family has a long history. As for when the Lin family was established, the ancestral hall didn't record it. However, there was one thing that was recorded, and it was especially watched. When old Master Lin took over as the head of the Lin family, the previous head of the family told old Master Lin about it. However, old Master Lin didn't hide it from his sons." "Dad, get to the point." Lin Feng. He rolled his eyes and said, "The other branch of the Lin family is also a member of the Lin family. However, they believe in killing, while our Lin family believes in anything. I heard that after the Lin family was founded, the other branch's cultivation was very strong. However, they didn't use it on their journey. They only wanted to use killing to prove their Tao and prove the strength of the Lin family. Later on, the founder of the family felt that they were cruel. He originally wanted to convert them, but the other branch refused to come to their senses. In the end, the founder of the family made a painful decision to chase them out. From then on, they were not allowed to enter the Lin family, nor were they allowed to enter the Lin family's genealogy." Oh! Hearing this, Lin Ray understood. However, he was puzzled. If that was the case, why would the other branch come to the Lin family? There was nothing in the Lin family that was worthy of them attacking. According to Lin Ray's knowledge, when he left, the Lin family was basically in a half-dead state. It wasn't easy for them to maintain a normal life. Why was the other branch like this? Lin Feng didn't know about Lin Ray's doubts. Seeing that Lin Ray didn't say anything, he continued, "Originally, the two branches didn't interfere with each other. However, who would have thought that in grandfather's generation, the other branch that had disappeared for 1,000 years would appear? However, their situation doesn't seem to be very good. Back then, grandfather's cultivation was only slightly stronger than the other branches, so the other branch could only endure. Now that grandfather said that the other branch is coming, it must be because they feel that the Lin family is no longer the Lin family of the past. Therefore, they want to exterminate the Lin family and replace them with the other branch to live in the open." Now that things were clear, Lin Ray understood the twists and turns of the situation. So there was such a thing in the Lin family. "Son, remember, the other branch of the Lin family is extremely vicious. If you see them, do your best to open as many doors as possible. Remember, don't fight them head-on," Lin Feng reminded. Hearing her husband say this, Hui Yun agreed, "That's right, Ray. Remember, the other branch's matter is no small matter. Since we've returned to the Lin family, let us out. We can discuss how to deal with the other branch after they come." "And right. Let us out." Now that he understood the whole story, Lin Ray naturally couldn't let them out. Although it was easy to deal with them, he still hadn't found fourth uncle and the others, so he didn't want his parents to worry about this matter. With that thought in mind, he turned to his parents and said with a smile, "Dad, Mom, even though we're in the Lin clan now, you've already said that the other bloodline is very savage, so it's the safest place to be. So, the two of you should stay here for a period of time. Once the matter outside is settled, I'll let you two out. With that, he reminded the system and little dragon, then left the system and returned to his body. Damn it, this brat. Seeing their son disappear, Huiyun and little dragon looked at each other and smiled helplessly. Then, they stopped talking and returned to their previous state. In the outside world, after knowing the whole story, Lin Rei looked at Lin Ruoshi with an even colder expression, like 10,000 years of ice. The surrounding air also dropped to the freezing point along with Lin Rei's mood. I'll give you two choices. First, tell me where the Lin family is locked up, or where they're killed and where their bodies are. Second, if you don't tell me, you'll die. Not only you, but everyone in your branch will die. Believe me, I have the power to do so. If you don't believe me, you can try. With that, he waved his hand and removed the spiritual energy seal on Lin Ruoshi's mouth, then sat down at the side like a listener. Who are you? Why must you do this? Did the other branch give you some benefits? How about this, what they gave you, we can give you too. How about it, as long as you let me go and join the Lin family? Lin Ruoshi couldn't understand Lin Rei's stubbornness. She really couldn't understand why the person in front of her was so stubborn. Benefits? Looking at Lin Ruoshi, Lin Rei's face was full of interest, then he sneered. What benefits do I, Lin Rei, need from the Lin family? My fourth uncle and the others are still alive, what do you think I'll do? Hurry up. Tell me quickly, or I don't mind using some tricks. Looking at Lin Ruoshi, Lin Rei's expression turned even colder. Indeed, if he wanted to, he could know her thoughts at any time, including all of her life's information and memories. Give up. Oh, not bad. Although this result wasn't what Lin Rei wanted, but he had no choice. Since this was the case, Lin Rei had no choice but to use his own method. Thinking of this, he stood up and walked to Lin Ruoshi's side. Seeing such a beautiful person about to become a fool, he couldn't help but sigh in his heart. If that's the case, then be prepared. Having said that, he raised his hand and pressed his palm on Lin Ruoshi's head. Although he really didn't want to do this, he had no choice. Soul-searching technique, activate. Muttering in his heart, in the next moment, a dim light flashed on top of Lin Rei's palm. In Lin Rei's mind, all of Lin Ruoshi's life's memories appeared in Lin Rei's mind, flashing quickly like a movie. Chapter 1139. That's... In his mind, scenes of Lin Ruoshi's memories flashed one by one. Finally, after seeing half of Lin Ruoshi's life, what Lin Rei wanted to see appeared. He saw the other bloodline coming to the Lin family's front door and controlling the Lin family's members like crushing dry weeds and smashing rotten wood. Even Grandfather Lin was suppressed by the other bloodline's master. Even the elders of the Sword Sect were suppressed. Reckless idiots, coming to the Lin family to cause trouble. Looking at those people, Lin Rei's killing intent couldn't help but surge. However, there was still a piece of good news. The other bloodline of the Lin family didn't kill the Lin family for life. Instead, they locked them up in the mountains behind Lian City. But even so, the other bloodline still came to the Lin family and used such a method. They were destined to pay a price they couldn't bear for their actions. You're all courting death. Killing intent surged. Retracting his hand, Lin Ruoshi collapsed on the ground with a pained expression. Her face was indescribably pale. I won't kill you, but you'll be a fool for the rest of your life. You'll never recover. This is your price. Looking at Lin Ruoshi, Lin Rei had already shown mercy. Otherwise, the one lying on the ground right now would be a corpse. It's time to settle the score with them. With that, his figure flashed and disappeared from the courtyard. Releasing his divine sense, Lin Rei instantly covered the entire Lian City. From Lin Ruoshi's bloodline, he had already analyzed the power of the other bloodline of the Lin family. It had to be said that the power of the other bloodline was much stronger than the Lin family's. So, it was normal for the other bloodline to be stronger. Found it. In his divine sense, small red dots appeared one after another. These red dots represented the characteristics of the other bloodline. Of course, divine sense naturally couldn't distinguish them. The reason for this was only because Lin Ray used a little trick. His figure flashed, and in the next moment, Lin Ray disappeared from the Lin family. When he reappeared, he was on the second floor of a restaurant. Here there were 4 red dots. Moreover, their cultivation was considered decent in this world. It could be seen that these people were either the higher-ups of the Lin family or the direct descendants of the Lin family. They belonged to the other bloodline. The others didn't notice Lin Ray's appearance. He walked towards the 4 people. At this moment, the 4 people were chatting happily and didn't notice that someone had appeared by their side. "Tisk, let's go, accompany me for a walk," Lin Ray said softly. He raised his hand and 4 rays of spirit chi rushed out. The 4 people didn't have time to resist. The spirit chi wrapped around them and they were brought away by Lin Ray. His figure flashed and arrived at the other location of the Lin family. For a saint, teleportation was very simple. To put it bluntly, in the Heaven's Will world, Lin Ray could travel the entire world with a single step. Just like this, according to the instructions given by the little technique and his own divine sense, one by one, the people of the other bloodline in Lien City were brought to the Lin province by Lin Ray. In the meeting hall of the Lin province, Lin Ray sat on the main seat. A group of people were standing below him. Each and every one of them was looking at Lin Ray with hatred. However, no one dared to go up and argue with him. It wasn't that they didn't want to, but they didn't dare. Previously, Lin Ray brought them to teleport. This was the first time they had seen such a shocking thing. It was also because of this that they understood that the cultivation of the young man in front of them was very powerful. He was so powerful that they didn't even have the heart to resist. No, they didn't even dare to have this kind of hatred. Looking at the people below him, a bottle of wine appeared in his hand. He drank it in one gulp and slowly said, "My name is Lin Ray. I am a direct descendant of the other bloodline." "What? You?" Hearing this, an old man in the crowd cried out in surprise. He took 2 steps back with a frightened expression. He wasn't the only one. The rest of the people were the same. How could they not be shocked by Lin Ray's identity? Weren't the people of the other bloodline all locked up by them? Why would a person who claimed to be a direct descendant of the Lin family appear here? Moreover, this person's cultivation was so powerful. This shouldn't be. When they first came here, they sent someone to investigate. But now, don't be shocked. I know what you are thinking. However, there is one thing you shouldn't have done. You shouldn't have locked up people of our bloodline. If you could have driven them out. Unfortunately. Saying this, Lin Ray couldn't help but shake his head regretfully. Since you have done wrong, you have to pay a price. He raised his head and looked at the old man beside him. He reached out his hand and pulled the old man out of the energy barrier. He fell in front of Lin Ray. In your next life, remember to act according to your ability. Poochie. Gulp, gulp. A bloody head fell from the old man's neck and rolled all the way to the feet of the crowd. Screams, cries, and expressions of doubt and disbelief were all heard at this moment. What do you want? A man's voice sounded from the old man's head. Hearing this voice, the cries stopped abruptly. Lin Ray raised his head and looked at the source of the voice. When he saw the person who spoke, he was stunned. A smile appeared on his face. Linji, I didn't expect to see you so soon. The 3rd elder of your bloodline, Lin Ruashi's father. Am I right? That's right. The person who spoke was Lin Ruashi's father. When he searched Lin Ruashi's memories, he saw Lin Ji. Lin Ji's expression changed drastically. He turned his head and looked around. Only then did he realize that his daughter wasn't here. What did you do to Ruashi? She doesn't know anything. I beg you, please let her go. Please let her go. I beg you. The man went crazy. At this moment, he couldn't care less about his family's hatred. In front of his daughter's life, that hatred was nothing. Plop. The man rushed out from the crowd. He wanted to rush in front of Lin Ray, but was blocked by the energy shield. In the end, he could only kneel at the edge of the energy shield. His head kept on kowtowing to the ground. The sound of kowtowing echoed in the hall. Senior, please forgive my daughter. She doesn't know anything. I'm willing to use my life in exchange for my daughter's life. I beg you. Lin Ji begged while kowtowing. This scene caused a lot of people to move. Even Lin Ray was the same. He didn't expect Lin Ji to do this. He couldn't help but soften his heart. Brother Lei, why don't you let him go? Xiao Hu's voice suddenly sounded and entered Lin Ray's ears. Hey, you want to let him go? Turning his head to look at Xiao Hu, Lin Ray was a little curious. Other than him and the people around him, Xiao Hu wouldn't show the slightest bit of kindness to others. Not to mention, he was pleading for mercy for a human who had offended Lin Ray. Looking at Lin Ray, Xiao Hu's expression became firm. Yes, I want to save him. He's willing to go to this extent to save his daughter. I want to give him a chance. Anyway, this kind of person won't be able to cause any big waves in the future. Moreover, aren't we going to leave soon? When the time comes, this place will only have people of their bloodline left. Looking at the scarlet flame tiger, Lin Ray fell silent. Chapter 1140. Sigh. Letting out a long sigh, he helplessly nodded and agreed to the tiger's request. All right. Since little tiger has said so, I would be unreasonable if I don't agree. As he spoke, he waved his hand and dragged Lin Ji out of the energy barrier. Go, your daughter is in the Lin family's backyard. From today onwards, I don't want to see the two of you in Lian City. Otherwise, you won't be as lucky as you are today. I knew Brother Lei loves me the most. Seeing Lin Ray agree to his request and let them go, the tiger was excited. Hey, you little guy. Looking at little tiger's cheerful appearance, Lin Ray couldn't help but sigh. How was this a 1,000-year-old beast? It was more like a 4 or 5-year-old child. However, Lin Ray didn't do it entirely because of little tiger. When he came to Lin Ruoshi's memory, he found that she didn't touch anyone from the Lin family. Even Lin Ji was subdued by her, and she didn't kill him. It was because of this that Lin Ray gave her parents a chance. Otherwise, most likely, as soon as he captured them, Lin Li would have crushed them into pieces, much less release them. Bang bang bang. Hearing Lin Ray's words, Lin Ji kowtowed a few times, thanked him, and rushed to the backyard. As for his family and friends, they weren't as important as his daughter in his eyes. After Lin Ji left, Lin Ray shifted his gaze to the remaining people. To be honest, Lin Ray didn't intend to kill them all. The people he killed before were only the people who killed the Lin family. Looking at the remaining people, although they belonged to another branch of the Lin family, they were still clansmen of the same bloodline as him. I know you're unhappy, but there's no other way. Who asked you to not be as strong as me? So, this is the price you should pay. Don't worry, I won't come knocking on your door. But you should pay a price. Boom, kacha. His cultivation was released in an instant and rushed to the dantian of everyone present. In the next moment, cracking sounds could be heard. Every time a cracking sound came from a person's body, that person's face would turn pale and powerless, and his body would collapse to the ground. Almost instantly, all the cultivators present, who were originally full of vitality, had their cultivations completely crippled by Lin Ray the moment Lin Ray released his cultivation. He could only be an ordinary person for the rest of his life. It was impossible for him to cultivate again, unless there was a staple that was willing to use his lifetime of cultivation to reforge his golden core. Otherwise, in the Heaven's Fate realm, aside from him and the Scarlet Tiger, there was only Tendo. As for the rest, he really didn't know. We feeling that their cultivation was crippled, some people couldn't accept it. They hurriedly raised their heads and wanted to explain. But when they saw Lin Ray's ice-cold gaze, they immediately swallowed their words. They lowered their heads again and had an expression that said, "I was wrong." As for the remaining people who wanted to resist, they were basically like the first man. The moment they saw Lin Ray's gaze, all of them withered. They didn't have the guts. Now that their cultivation was crippled, if they still didn't know what was good for them, the only thing left was death. As the saying goes, a bad life is better than a good death. Even if they lost their cultivation and couldn't cultivate again in this lifetime, with the wealth collected by the Lin family, they wouldn't have to worry about food and clothing for the rest of their lives. Life, old age, sickness, and death weren't that terrifying. Of course, it also depended on one's state of mind. Some people didn't think that way. Seeing everyone's silent appearance, Lin Ray smiled and said, "Don't worry, as people of the same clan, I won't do anything to you. As for this Lin family residence, you can figure out what to do in the future. This will be your shelter in the future." "What? You mean to say that this residence is given to us?" Lin Ray's words caused the people from the other bloodline to be in disbelief. He even meant that the place that they had fought so hard for was not even worth a mention in the eyes of the man in front of them? How ironic! How ironic! They had painstakingly spent so much effort to build this house, but now, thinking about everything that they had done in the past, it was simply too laughable. "Alright, since you've already paid the price, from today onwards, you're the masters of the Lin family. Remember, the Lin family's reputation doesn't come from being tyrannical. If you continue to be tyrannical like before, you won't be far from being destroyed. That's all I have to say. Figure out what to do on your own." Then, without waiting for anyone to react, he turned around and picked up the scarlet flame tiger. His figure instantly disappeared from the Lin family residence. Lin Ray's body instantly appeared at the gate of Lien City. He turned around and looked at the city behind him. He sighed with emotion in his heart. Goodbye, Lien City. In the end, this city could only become a beautiful place in his memories. "Brother Lei, where are we going next?" "Of course we're going to save people and leave this place. Do you want to live in this state forever?" He glared at Little Tiger. However, Lin Ray did not expect Little Tiger's next words to make him completely helpless. "It doesn't matter. As long as I can be with Brother Lei, this state is fine too." Ignoring Little Tiger's words, Lin Ray released his divine sense. Everything within a radius of 10,000 miles appeared in his mind. "Heh, little brat, you're quite good at hiding." Looking at the place where fourth uncle was in his mind, Lin Ray found it funny. Looking at that place, he teleported and instantly disappeared from the gate of Lien City. He left quietly, without a single cloud in his wake. It was as though he had never appeared. No one noticed Linley's presence. In the east of Lien City, in front of a cave, the space distorted. In the next moment, Lin Ray's figure walked out from the distorted space. "This is the place." Lowering his head, Xiao Chen looked at the cave below. This was the place where his family was being held captive. Taking a step forward, Xiao Chen arrived at the cave in an instant. He released his divine sense. Aside from his family, there was also a strong aura, 2 martial kings. No wonder Grandpa was captured. It turns out that there are martial kings. Xiao Chen walked into the cave. The cave was not big. After all, it was just a place to be held captive. Thus, it did not look very well built. "Who is it?" The 2 martial kings, who were resting, immediately opened their eyes when they heard movement at the entrance. They released their cultivation and shouted at the entrance. The moment they shouted, the remaining subordinates naturally gathered together. They drew their sabers and aimed them at the entrance of the cave. They looked like they were prepared to charge at any moment. Lin Ray was very clear about the situation in the cave. However, these things were not enough to stop him. Even if Lin Ray stood there and let them hack at him, they might not be able to kill him in 100 years. No, 1,000 years. Chapter 1141. Under the gazes of the crowd, Lin Ray slowly walked forward with a bottle of wine in his hand. From time to time, he would take a sip as he appeared before the crowd. "Oh, you're all here?" Seeing everyone's gazes on him, Linley chuckled. He came to a halt, turning his head to look around. Finding a fairly clean rock, he sat down on it. However, Lin Ray's actions appeared very arrogant, domineering, and unfathomable in the eyes of the crowd. This included the Lin family members in the cage behind the two martial kings. They felt that the Lin Ray who came in was very familiar, but they did not know where they had seen him before. "Who are you? Why are you here?" One of the two martial kings spoke. It seemed that he was the person in charge here. Gudong. A mouthful of wine entered his stomach. He lowered his head to look at the person who spoke. Seeing the crowd's expectant gazes, Lin Ray pretended to be deep in thought. Then, he came back to his senses and spoke. "I release the people behind you. This sovereign will not be ruthless. Otherwise they will all die." When he spoke, his voice was filled with coldness. There was no trace of the lazy appearance he had before. At this moment, Lin Ray was like a fierce beast that had fallen into a deep slumber. Now that he had awakened, he had an aura that could rival all living things. Hearing Lin Ray's words, the martial king turned his head to look at the crowd behind him. He said thoughtfully, "What relationship do you have with them?" Although he did not want to have any relationship with them, the moment the man spoke, he asked him to release the people behind him. This made him suspect that there was a relationship between them. "Old man, I'm here to bring you home." Ignoring the martial king's words, Linley turned his head and looked through the crowd at the old man locked up in the cage. Lin Ray liked this grandfather of his very much. Back then, when he secretly left home, he thought that he would be beaten up when he returned. He did not expect that the old man would suppress him and even beat up his own father. "What? You are?" The old man was full of confusion. He was sure that he had never seen the young man in front of him before, but from his tone, it seemed that they were very familiar with each other. Also, there were only a few people in the Lin family who called him Old Master. He really couldn't think of anyone. Looking at the young man, the old man opened his mouth. "Young man, this old man doesn't remember having any interaction with you before. Why? Don't tell me you don't recognize me?" Looking at the old man, Lin Ray pretended to be heartbroken. He knew that his appearance had changed, and his age was different. That was why the old man was so confused. The conversation between the two completely ignored the two martial kings. The anger in the two martial kings' hearts continued to surge until they could no longer hold it in. "Bastard, I asked you a question and you ignored me. Do you really think that I don't dare to kill you?" As he spoke, he instantly released his martial king cultivation. Alas! Looking at the man, Lin Ray was speechless. Why were there so many people courting death? There was nothing he could do. He originally wanted to let him wait a little longer, but now it's not a good thing to be hot-tongued. I hope you'll understand in your next life. After speaking, without waiting for the crowd to react, Lin Ray, who was originally sitting on the rock, disappeared. Poochie. When Lin Ray reappeared, he was in front of the cage. As for the person who was hot-tongued and said he wanted to kill someone, he was standing there in a daze. The aura of a martial king disappeared without a trace. How is this possible? When the crowd came back to their senses, they were all shocked by this scene. They had never thought that such a scene would happen. Seeing Lin Ray appear, the old man was even more confused. He was sure that the young man in front of him was here to save him, but he really didn't know him. Questions appeared in his heart one after another. In the end, he couldn't explain himself. In the end, he could only shut his mouth and wait for the other party to tell him everything. Plop! The martial king, who was originally standing there, was now lying on the ground. Scarlet blood flowed out from his mouth and dyed the ground red. Seeing the martial king in such a state, everyone's complexion turned pale and they couldn't help but tremble. Run, run, run. At that moment, some people came back to their senses. Their original arrogance and despotism disappeared. What was left was fear and the thought of leaving this place as soon as possible. After the sound of fleeing rang out, apart from the martial king, the rest of the people rushed out of the cave. They didn't want to stay here for even a second longer. They were afraid that in the next moment they would end up like the martial king who was lying on the ground. Hot-tongued. Seeing the way the crowd fled, Lin Rei frowned. He waved his hand and sealed the entrance of the cave with spiritual energy. Then, he sealed the crowd in a quiet formation. This scene shocked the crowd once again. However, the remaining martial king was now regretting it. His expression was full of fear. He stood in place and didn't escape, nor did he make any sound. It wasn't that he didn't want to leave, but he didn't dare. Just by looking at the cold sweat on his forehead, one could tell that he was afraid. Gotcha! A crisp sound echoed throughout the entire cave. The lock that had locked the cage had disappeared, and the door to the cage opened. Old man, how do you want to deal with these people? Lin Rei opened the door to the cage and asked the old man. What? Let me decide? The old man was shocked. He had seen how powerful the person in front of him was. Now that he was asked to make a decision, he was flattered. Old man, I am Lin Rei. I am your grandson. Don't tell me you really don't recognize me? Looking at the old man, Lin Rei said his name. What? Lin Rei? You, impossible. I know Rei, but your appearance and age don't match with Rei's. How could you? The old man questioned. Not only the old man, but the rest of the Lin family didn't believe that the Lin Rei in front of them was the one they knew. Looking at the confused faces of the crowd, Lin Rei choked on his words. He sighed and shook his head with a bitter smile. There was nothing he could do. His age and appearance were indeed different from before. All right, since you don't believe me, then your son and daughter-in-law should know each other. What? The old man didn't understand what Lin Rei meant. However, in the next moment, Lin Rei waved his hand and Lin Feng and Hui Yun appeared in front of the Lin family. Everyone was stunned. Feng-er? Yun-er? Looking at the two people who suddenly appeared, Master Lin cried out in surprise. Indeed, although he didn't know Lin Rei, his son and daughter-in-law's appearance hadn't changed. He could still recognize them. Father! Father! Hearing the voice behind them, Lin Feng and Hui Yun turned around. The moment they saw the old man, their bodies trembled. They stepped in front of the old man and knelt on the ground, greeting him softly. Chapter 1142. Is it really you? Feng-er? Tears welled up in the old man's eyes uncontrollably. As the saying goes, men bleed but don't cry. It's only because they haven't been hurt. The old man used to be a veteran of the battlefield. He led an army to defend against an entire country's attack. Now, he was crying his eyes out. It's me. Your son has returned. I'm sorry. Your son is unfilial. I've made you worry for so many years. He hugged his body and buried his head in the old man's chest. Tears flowed uncontrollably. At this moment, he was sobbing uncontrollably. To the side, Hui Yun understood that the father and son had not seen each other for a long time. There had been news of his son's death, but now that his son had come back from the dead and appeared in front of him, the old man was able to remain calm. Fortunately, the two of them restrained themselves. After all, they were in an illusion. They had no choice but to stop reminiscing about the past. After crying for a while, the two of them separated. However, their eyes never left each other. Seeing the old man like this, Lin Rei couldn't help but smile bitterly. He didn't respond and just waited quietly. Now that his mission was completed, it was up to the old man to decide what to do with the other bloodline. No matter what the old man said, Lin Rei would definitely show no mercy and kill everyone from the other bloodline. However, he was afraid that the old man would be soft-hearted. "It's good that you're back." Looking at Lin Feng, the old man finally spat out these words. After saying that, he looked at Lin Rei. Now, he truly believed that the young man before him was his grandson, Lin Rei. However, looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the old man still didn't dare to believe it. In just a few years, his grandson's cultivation had improved greatly. However, his appearance had changed so much. He was sure that if they were walking on the street, Ruo Lin and Lin Rei didn't speak, they would pass by each other and treat each other as familiar strangers. "You brat, you haven't returned for so many years. Now that you're back, even your appearance has changed. Tell me, what should we do about this?" the old man asked. Although his words sounded like he was questioning Lin Rei, from the doting look on the old man's face, he understood what he really meant. Seeing the old man like this, Lin Rei smiled bitterly. "Old man, it's not that I don't want to come back. It's just that there are some things that I haven't settled yet, so I can't come back." "Well," as she spoke, she turned to Lin Feng. "Didn't I bring my dad back? I brought back a son for you, and now your grandson is back. Tell me, are you happy?" Happy." Lin Rei's words made the old man unable to refute, but he was truly happy. Now that his son, who had been used for many years, had returned, and his grandson was standing in front of him safe and sound, what else could he be dissatisfied with? "Hey guys, are you done yet? Hurry up and settle the matter at hand." The scarlet flame tiger in Lin Rei's arms looked at this harmonious scene and felt a little sour in its heart. It was as if it was jealous that the old man had snatched away its brother Lei. "Who's talking?" The scarlet flame tiger's voice interrupted everyone. The old man's gaze left Lin Rei and looked around, as if trying to find the person who spoke. The old man didn't know. The Lin family didn't know, but Lin Feng and Hui Yun knew who the person was. The two looked at the scarlet flame tiger and shook their heads helplessly. "Father, the person who spoke just now was Rei's friend, the scarlet flame tiger." Pointing at the scarlet flame tiger, Lin Feng slowly said, "What?" As he spoke, he looked at the direction where Lin Feng was pointing. When he saw the scarlet flame tiger in Lin Rei's arms, the old man was stunned. Then he frowned and looked at Lin Feng with an expression that said, "Feng, we haven't seen each other for many years. You've learned how to make fun of your father, right?" "I didn't really." Halfway through his words, he suddenly stopped and looked at Lin Rei. He understood that if he didn't really see it, the old man would never believe him. Therefore, only by letting the old man see it clearly would he be able to make him believe him completely. Looking at his father's expression, Lin Rei didn't understand what he meant. He turned his head to look at the old man and said, "Old man, my father is right." Xiao Hu, say a few words for the old man. Afraid that the old man wouldn't believe him, he lowered his head and let the scarlet flame tiger speak. "Damn, Brother Lei, I'm your beast, not a monkey on the mountain. If you do this, won't your heart hurt?" Looking at Lin Rei, it complained as if it had been wronged. Hearing the scarlet flame tiger's words, the old man completely believed Lin Feng's words. Looking at the scarlet flame tiger, the old man didn't have any other thoughts other than shock. Even a demonic beast could speak. This made his view of the world refreshed. "All right, old man, how should we deal with these people?" Seeing the old man in a daze, Lin Rei once again asked for instructions. Time was nothing to Lin Rei, but Lin Rei didn't want to waste any more time on this matter. Lin Rei's words made Lin Feng and Hui Yun, who had been paying attention to the old man, react. Just now, they were only thinking about the old man and didn't notice that they were in a cave. Moreover, who were those people at the entrance? One question after another arose in Lin Feng and Hui Yun's hearts. "Dad, didn't I ask you about the other bloodline before?" "These people are from the other bloodline. Lin Rei saw the doubt in Lin Feng's expression clearly. Now that everything had been settled, it didn't matter if they knew. What? The other bloodline? Contrary to Lin Rei's expectations, Lin Feng wasn't as calm as he had imagined, and spoke out in shock. Huiyun was even more so. Her gaze fell on the people at the entrance of the cave, and her expression changed. And that's right. Just now, after returning to the Lin family, Lin Rei opened his mouth and told them everything that had happened after returning to the Lin family. Just like that, I originally wanted to kill them directly, but then I remembered that they were from the same clan, so I only killed those who attacked. So that's how it is. After listening to Lin Rei's story, the old man had a look of understanding. Now, he knew what had happened. His gaze fell on the other bloodline at the entrance of the cave, and the murderous look on his face instantly disappeared. The old man's gentle and benevolent expression reappeared on his face. Rei, since the other bloodline has already received the price they deserve, then let's just forget about this matter. After all, we are from the same clan. Although establishing the Lin family is only a temporary separation, we still have the bloodline of the Lin family. If revenge breeds revenge, will there ever be an end to it? Take a step back and you'll see the world. You're going to let us go? The old man didn't hide his words from the martial king and the remaining disciples of the other bloodline. However, the old man's decision seemed so inconceivable to them. When they thought about what they had done to the Lin family, they never thought that the old man would make such a decision. Chapter 1143. What's wrong? You don't want to let you go? Sure. If you don't want to, I can kill you all, the old man said. Forget about it. The martial king who spoke was stunned for a moment before quickly replying. Who would be willing to die? Especially when he was a martial king. Why would he want to die? That's it then. The old man couldn't help but roll his eyes at the martial king's reaction and let him experience it for himself. You're really letting us go? The martial king confirmed once again. It wasn't that he didn't believe it, but the matter of Phase 2-4 was too unimaginable. It could even be said that it was beyond his imagination because this matter wouldn't have happened to anyone else. The old man didn't want to speak anymore. There was no need. However, the old man had already decided that if he asked again, he would immediately change his mind. Hurry up and scram. Remember, from today onwards, if you dare to bully the weak, you'll end up like him, Lin Rei quickly said, understanding the old man's helplessness. However, Lian City was his hometown after all, so he didn't want to be messed up by people from another branch. Yes. Looking at the dead state of his fellow clansmen, the man was terrified and broke out in cold sweat. Looking at the corpses of his fellow clansmen, the man silently swore in his heart that he would follow Lin Rei's orders in the future. He would definitely not be like before, where he would definitely root out the strong and help the weak, and no longer bully others. Good, I'll keep an eye on you. If anything good happens to you, I'll reconsider whether or not to exterminate your branch. Saying that, he waved his hand. Scram, remember this sovereign's words. After saying that, Lin Rei didn't say anything else. When the martial king received Lin Rei's order, it was as if he had been granted amnesty. He scrambled out of the cave with his subordinates and left as quickly as possible. He swore that he would never come back to this cave in his life. To others, this might be a refuge, but to him, this was his nightmare, a nightmare that he would never be able to erase in his life. Lin Rei released his divine sense over the entire mountain. After confirming that there was an opening in the other bloodline, he withdrew his divine sense. Good boy, I haven't seen you for a few years and you've changed so much. You've changed so much that even your fourth uncle doesn't recognize you anymore. Within the crowd, fourth Uncle Lin Hai took a step forward and punched Lin Rei in the chest. See, what are you doing? The old master scolded Linley. Then, the old master came to Linley's side with a worried look on his face. "Ray, are you alright? Your fourth uncle doesn't know how to control his strength. Sanji, take a look." As he spoke, the old man tried to pry open Lin Ray's clothes as if he wanted to check his injuries. This. The old man's actions really made Lin Ray quiver. He didn't expect his grandfather to be like this. If it was before, that's not right. Even if he hadn't returned to his original body, his physical body would have been able to withstand that punch, let alone now that he had returned to his original body. Even if Lin Hai used a knife to cut him, he wouldn't be able to kill him from such a distance. He leaned forward and avoided the old man's hands. Then, he responded with a bad mood, "Grandfather, don't joke around. With fourth uncle's strength, let alone injure me, even if I stood there and did nothing, fourth uncle still wouldn't be able to kill me." Lin Ray wasn't joking about this. "Alright, Dad, I'll go out and get you guys something to eat. You guys chat first." As he spoke, the old man and the others didn't react. He took a step forward and disappeared from everyone's sight. This boy is still shy." Looking in the direction Lin Ray left, Huiyun smiled. Others might not know, but as his mother, how could she not understand? "Alright, father, let Ray go." Seeing his son leave, Lin Feng quickly stepped forward and interrupted the old man's thoughts. As for Lin Hai, he couldn't help but smile bitterly. He was even more curious about Lin Ray's cultivation. Just what kind of realm was he in to be able to do this? However, he quickly threw this thought to the back of his mind. Because no matter how much he changed, he couldn't change the fact that he was his nephew. After thinking it through, he came to the old man's side and began to listen to Lin Feng talk about his experiences over the years. Outside the cave, Lin Ray rushed out and came to the top of the cave. Looking at the scenery in the distance, a smile appeared on his face. "I can finally leave." As he spoke, he communicated with the little dragon. "Little dragon, I need to return to the God realm. Is there any way to get there in the shortest time?" Although he had returned to his original form, if he wanted to return to the God realm from the Destiny realm, it would take too much time just by flying. He didn't have the time. Not only that, he didn't have much time left. He had 1,000 years to enter the holy world. The remaining time was not enough for him to return to the God realm. Therefore, the only thing he could rely on now was the little dragon. Of course, it was fine if he didn't know about the formation. However, he was afraid that if he took out something of a high level, it wouldn't be accepted by this realm. Moreover, the time needed to set up a starry sky teleportation formation was massive. It wasn't something that could be done with a wave of the hand. More importantly, he didn't know about the starry sky teleportation formation in the God realm. Therefore, the two couldn't be connected at all. Even if he set it up, it would be useless. Swish. As soon as Lin Ray finished speaking, the little dragon's figure rushed out of the system and appeared in front of Lin Ray. It floated in the air in front of Lin Ray and looked at Lin Ray with an amused smile on its face. "I knew you would have a day like this. Cut the crap. Hurry up and say it. What's the solution?" "The starry sky teleportation formation. It can allow you to reach the God realm in a short time, and it won't affect you at all." "What?" He lifted his head and looked at the little dragon. "The starry sky teleportation formation requires a massive amount of time. Moreover, I didn't set up a teleportation location in the God realm. Who knows where it will teleport to if it succeeds? Moreover, didn't you say that the holy world is already in chaos? If that's the case, who will be responsible for the time wasted? Moreover, there isn't much time left for the 1,000-year mission." Seeing Lin Ray's anxious expression, a smile appeared on the little dragon's face. And when Lin Ray saw the little dragon's smile, he vaguely had a bad premonition in his heart. "TSK, if that's the case, then there's only one solution left," the little dragon said. "What solution? Hurry up and say it." Lin Ray said anxiously. Can't we just go to the system store and buy the Starry Sky teleportation formation to the God Realm directly? Since it's convenient and fast, why not? The system store. Originally, Lin Ray was waiting expectantly for the little dragon's answer. But when the little dragon gave the solution, he was dumbfounded. He didn't want to go to the system to buy it, so he asked the little dragon. If he bought it directly from the system, he wouldn't need to waste his breath. Apart from the system, is there really no other way? Lin Ray questioned again, still holding on to a sliver of hope in his heart. No, give up. Now only the system can fulfill your conditions. Chapter 1144. The little dragon's meaning was very clear, and Lin Ray had no other thoughts other than helplessness. Forget it, since that's the case, I'll just go directly to the system and buy it. After thinking it through, Lin Ray stopped looking for trouble. Of course, he couldn't deny that the little dragon and the system had their own ambitions. After all, he had cheated a lot of good things from the little dragon and the system before. After thinking it through, Lin Ray didn't hesitate and entered the system space. He muttered in his heart and called out the shop interface. As soon as Lin Ray's voice fell, a bright light appeared in the originally dark space. Suddenly, a door-like existence appeared in Lin Ray's line of sight. Walala, when the door appeared, it suddenly split in the middle and opened to two sides. The moment the door opened, the sound of bottles colliding with each other entered Lin Ray's ears. Looking at the dazzling lineup of high-quality goods in front of his eyes, he hadn't seen this scene for a long time. It had to be said that Lin Ray more or less missed this shop. After all, this shop had saved his life several times. If it wasn't for the fact that he had to buy escape treasures and pills from the shop, he probably wouldn't have appeared in this Destiny realm safe and sound. Congratulations to the host for returning to the system. The system's cold electronic voice entered Lin Ray's ears and suddenly woke Lin Ray up. Ding, what does the host want to buy? The system will serve you wholeheartedly. F***ck. Hearing the system's words, Lin Ray was stunned for a moment. What the hell is going on? I don't think I've ever imagined such a scene before. Serve you wholeheartedly? Please don't. As long as you don't scold me, I'll be thankful. Although Lin Ray had a lot of doubts in his heart, when he thought about what he wanted to do, Lin Ray didn't have the heart to let his imagination run wild for a moment. Raising his head to look at the pitch-black sky, Linley told her about his trip to the system. I want to return to the realm of the gods, and I want to return directly to the Celestial Dragon Mountain's mysterious sect. Do you have any ideas? After saying this, Lin Ray felt that it was a bit unnecessary. If the system didn't have a way, he wouldn't have come in. However, since he had already said it, there was no reason to take it back. Yes. The system blurted out the clear and concise words. It didn't care about Lin Ray's question from before. Ding, the system is retrieving goods for the host. Please wait. As soon as the system's voice sounded, the goods in front of him, the goods began to become blurred. As time passed, the goods completely disappeared. This system always likes to do things like this. Why don't you just say it directly? Why do you have to do all this nonsense? Lin Ray only dared to say this in his heart. If it was on the surface, Lin Ray wouldn't dare to say this. Thinking back to the time when he said some extreme words, he had experienced the system's punishment. Although it didn't kill him, it was still possible for him to be seriously injured. Although he had broken through to the Sage Realm, Lin Ray still didn't dare to challenge the system's dignity. Time slowly passed, and the blurriness of the goods' disappearance appeared again. After a while, the originally empty shop was once again filled with a dazzling array of goods. However, these goods weren't like the bottles and jars from before. Starry Sky Teleportation Array. Set up with shocking power, 1,600 types of materials, 106,000 array formations, has the power of directional teleportation. Its effect is very obvious. F***ck, this array formation, I'm afraid that I can't draw it out now. 109,000 types of combination array formations. Motherf***ker, just the combination array formation alone would take more than 10 or 20 years. Who would set up this kind of useless array formation for no reason? The most excessive thing is the directional array. So, the indefinite array is suitable for trash. Looking at the starry sky teleportation array and the manufacturing method, Lin Ray couldn't help but click his tongue. F***ck. 87, 6 million exchange points? Lin Ray was already drunk when he saw the manufacturing method of the starry sky teleportation array. However, when he saw the exchange points for the starry sky teleportation array, Lin Ray was completely dumbfounded. Looking at the number of points, Lin Ray only felt his heart tighten, and blood couldn't stop dripping. Motherf***ker, is this a robbery? After coming back to his senses, Lin Ray started nagging again and decisively gave up on this method of going back. First of all, it wasn't that he didn't have the money, but that he didn't need this array formation. First of all, this array formation was a directional teleportation array. Although it was also compatible, the Xuanzong Sect didn't have the mark of a starry sky teleportation array, so even if Lin Ray wanted to buy it, it wouldn't work. And the system seemed to have had enough of Lin Ray's nagging. If you think it's expensive, don't buy it. You don't have to choose this. You can choose other types. Pauper. I was just thinking about that. What? Pauper? When he was about to choose other types, the system's words completely ignited Lin Ray. Lin Ray admitted that he was poor, but he didn't like it when others called him poor, and in such a blatant way. What was the system trying to do, provoking? Ding, if the host doesn't admit to being poor, then buy the starry sky teleportation array. If you don't want to buy it, then don't be so shameless like a man. The system opened its mouth, and its words didn't hide its provocative tone. A real man doesn't fight with the system. I'm a cultured saint. Don't be angry, right? Don't be angry. He forcibly suppressed the anger in his heart. After calming down, Lin Ray didn't linger on this matter. Instead, he looked at other options. One-way teleportation array, an independent teleportation array, 50 million exchange points. This is not bad. Looking at the teleportation array, Lin Ray couldn't help but say. However, his eyes didn't linger on the one-way teleportation array for long. He looked at other options again. Passage to the Holy Land, extra-dimensional teleportation, God's Shadow, Tendo teleportation. One by one, the items appeared in front of Lin Ray. Lin Ray remembered them all in his mind. Until the last item, Lin Ray didn't make a decision. It wasn't that Lin Ray didn't want to buy it, and it wasn't that he had a choice. It was that the system didn't have that many exchange points. Among the teleportation items he looked at just now, the best one cost more than 290 million, and the worst was the second one-way teleportation array. This was the cheapest one, and it was within Lin Ray's range of tolerance. What should I do? Thinking about what he saw just now, Lin Ray was a little conflicted. He didn't know which method he should choose to go back. In the system space where the little dragon was, Lin Ray's actions were all exposed to the little dragon's eyes. So, how could the little dragon not understand Lin Ray's actions? This guy, after so many years, his choice is still so bad. It's just a teleportation array. Is there a need to be like this? The little dragon didn't understand, but Lin Ray didn't understand either. It was indeed just a teleportation array, but he was so conflicted. Chapter 1145. Time passed bit by bit as Lin Ray struggled. He only knew that the blazing sun in the sky was now slowly moving towards the west. The system, in the space where the little dragon was, looked at Lin Ray's silence and finally couldn't help but say, "I say, you little brat, hurry up. It's already so late, are you going to choose or not? Isn't it just a small spell formation? Why don't you spend some time doing something more meaningful?" Lin Ray was speechless. The little dragon's voice brought him back to reality. He looked up at the shop, and finally his gaze fell on the cheapest single-direction teleportation spell formation. 53. 6 million, not bad, within an acceptable range. Looking at the single-direction teleportation spell formation, Lin Ray nodded in satisfaction. "You've decided?" Seeing Lin Ray smile, the little dragon asked. "Yes, I've decided." Saying so, he looked up at the sky and said, "System, I want to purchase a single-direction teleportation spell formation." Ding. Does the host confirm to purchase a single-direction teleportation spell formation? Yes. Ding. The system confirms again. Does the host confirm to purchase a single-direction teleportation spell formation? Lin Ray was speechless. Seeing the system dilly-dallying, Lin Ray rolled his eyes and confirmed, "Yes, I want to purchase a single-direction teleportation spell formation." Why can't I? Or, this kind of teleportation spell formation can't send me to the Xuanzong Sect in one direction? Yes. 2 words, concise and clear. Ding. Purchasing a single-direction teleportation spell formation, please wait a moment. Hearing the system's prompt, Lin Ray was relieved. Since he could reach the Xuanzong Sect, 50 million was fine. The system was silent. Lin Ray's mind moved and he exited the system. His figure disappeared from the mountain peak. He originally came out to look for meat, but because of his choice, he wasted so much time. He didn't know how to explain it when he returned. Within the forest, Lin Ray's figure was like a ghost as he shuttled back and forth without a trace. At the same time as he was teleporting, he had an extra 10 li-long rabbit in his hand. There were so many people in the cave, and if there were any large demonic beasts here, he could only make do with numbers. Ding. Congratulations to host for successfully purchasing a single-direction teleportation circle and storing it in the purchasing system. Ding. Due to the host's one-time expenditure of 50 million, the system grants 1 chance at the lottery. Lin Ray, who was originally shuttling through the forest, came to an abrupt halt the moment he heard the system notification. His entire being was in a hazy state. If 50 million was the reward for a lucky draw, then why didn't the system give him a lucky draw when he bought so many things before? Ding. As the host has been away from the main body for too long, the system will reward you accordingly. Lin Ray was speechless. Hearing this, Lin Ray was speechless. So it was because he had been away from his body for too long. Since the teleportation circle was already in his hands, he could leave this age of chaos after eating this meal. Thinking about how he was about to leave, an excited smile appeared on his face. There was pitifully little spiritual energy here, and his wife and children weren't here. He missed his 2 women in the divine realm. I wonder how that brat Lin Yun is managing the sect? Is that stinking brat Lin Shan still wandering around outside? I wonder if that lass Yen is still in the sect. How is her cultivation? Thinking about his 3 children, Lin Ray's desire to return home became even stronger. He couldn't wait to activate the teleportation circle and return to the Xuanzong Sect to reunite with them. Forget it, let's not think about it anymore. Shaking his head, Lin Ray threw all these thoughts to the back of his mind. He lowered his head and looked at the prey in his hand. Feeling that it was enough, Lin Ray didn't stay and returned to the cave. In the cave, Lin Feng and the others were chatting enthusiastically, especially the old man. He didn't know what he heard, but his laughter could be described as loud and clear. It didn't seem like he had just escaped. Tap, tap, just as Lin Feng and the others were chatting happily, the sound of footsteps entered everyone's ears. Suddenly, The laughter disappeared and everyone looked in the direction of the cave's entrance. Lin Rei's figure appeared in everyone's line of sight. Everyone was stunned, especially when they saw Lin Rei holding the wild beast in his hand. Some of the Lin family members, who were good when they were hungry, had sinister expressions on their faces. It was as if the wild beast in Lin Rei's hand was already cooked. They looked like they wanted to rush up and eat him alive. By one. I'll be able to eat it soon. Just wait for a while. Seeing the looks in everyone's eyes, Linley understood. He spoke out, stopped, and began to deal with the matter. With the spirit purification technique, he didn't need to go to places with water to deal with these wild beasts. A small knife appeared in his hand and he grabbed one of the wild beasts. Lin Rei began his magnificent performance. He dissected the wild beasts as fast as lightning, causing everyone to be stunned. Before anyone could react, a wild beast had already been dealt with. TSK, Rei's speed is simply too fast. Seeing his grandson's method of dealing with wild beasts, the old man smacked his lips and had a look of admiration. More than a dozen wild beasts were dealt with by Lin Rei in less than 2 minutes. Under everyone's gaze, Lin Rei ignored everyone's gazes as if he was the only person in the cave. With a thought, he took out all the seasonings from his storage ring and began to add seasonings to the wild beast. The fragrance filled the entire cave. There was no place that didn't have this fragrance. Although it hadn't been roasted yet, it made everyone drool. Ting! A blood-red flame jumped out of Lin Rei's hand in front of everyone's eyes. Sizzle, sizzle. The wild beast was on fire. Suddenly, a sizzling sound entered everyone's ears. At this moment, a different fragrance completely filled everyone's surroundings. It's done. Almost instantaneously, the wild beast was taken out by Lin Rei just as it was on fire. He even claimed that it was done roasting. What? It's done? Seeing Lin Rei's actions, the old man and the Lin family exclaimed loudly. Everyone's reaction really scared Lin Rei. Yes, it's done. What else do you want? Lin Rei retorted. One had to know that he was using the illusory spirit blood fire to roast the meat. This kind of flame was of very high existence. If it wasn't for Lin Rei's powerful ability to control the flame, this kind of wild beast would probably be evaporated by the illusory spirit blood fire before it touched. No, it didn't even need to touch the illusory spirit blood fire before it was completely evaporated by the illusory spirit blood fire. If anyone who had suffered under the illusory spirit blood fire saw Lin Rei using the illusory spirit blood fire to roast the meat, they would be so angry that they would want to kill Lin Rei. Let me try it first. While everyone was shocked and in disbelief, a voice entered everyone's ears. Then, a figure came in front of Lin Rei, took the meat in Lin Rei's hand, and took a bite. This is too delicious. Chapter 1146. Perhaps it was because Lin Rei ate too much that everyone's appetites were piqued. Now that they had a chance to test the waters, they didn't stop eating. One by one, they came to Lin Rei's side to receive the cooked food. Just like that, everyone wolfed down the delicious food. However, Lin Rei couldn't help but smile bitterly when he saw the Lin family's eager expressions. He understood that everyone in the Lin family was starving. Moreover, they wanted to roast the meat just now. It was inevitable that they would want to continue. However, there were no more wild beasts. If they wanted to eat more, they would have to go out and catch more. Lin Rei didn't want to waste time on this. When he thought about his home in the God Realm, he didn't want to wait a moment longer. Let's roast the meat here. As he spoke, he looked at Lin Feng and Lin Feng. Father, did you tell grandfather and the others about leaving? Yes, I did. Lin Feng nodded. Don't worry. Grandfather said that you can make the decision. Since the Lin family has already become like this, it's better to leave. Hearing this, Grandfather Lin hurriedly added, Rei, father is right. There is no place for us in the Lin family. Since you want to leave, this old bag of bones can't be separated from you. He turned to look at everyone behind him and continued, as for the family members, they agree with me. Leaving is perhaps the best outcome. Moreover, Feng has already told us about the situation in that place. Therefore, we will leave with you. As soon as he said this, everyone in the Lin family spoke in unison. Their voices were loud and clear. Yes, we will leave with you. Lin Rei's expression was filled with determination as he looked at everyone. Since that was the case, there was nothing to hesitate about. All right, I will use my spiritual energy to envelop you all in a moment. When we reappear, it will be our home. As he spoke, he used his divine will to communicate with the single-direction teleportation array in the system. Under Lin Rei's communication with his divine sense, a huge array formation instantly appeared beneath the feet of Lin Rei and the others. It was so full that the entire mountain could not hide the existence of the array formation. In the end, it enveloped the entire mountain. The moment the formation appeared, a faint blue light appeared in everyone's line of sight. This scene could be said to be extremely shocking. In the heavenly fate world, most people were martial cultivators. This was the first time they had seen such a godlike thing, including the old man and the others. Looking at the blue light under his feet, the old man was stunned. He looked at his grandson, and his heart seemed to grow stronger. All right, let's hold hands and not move. He didn't have the chance to explain to them their shock. Nothing good comes out of your mouth. Lin Rei stopped talking, and both sides fell silent. Lin Rei exited the system and looked at the array core with his divine sense. Then, he increased the amount of energy transmitted. Little by little, almost half of the holy energy was transmitted to the array core. Seeing that the array core, which seemed to be insatiable, finally reacted, Lin Rei was relieved. You bastard, if you don't give me some reaction, I will destroy you today. Lin Rei increased the transmission, but at the same time, the devouring heaven execution began to devour the top-grade divine crystals. The only thing he could do now was to activate the array core while recovering. Otherwise, if the array core were to experience spatial turbulence like the system said, it would be difficult to protect them. Little by little, the people outside saw Lin Rei standing there in a daze, doing nothing. There was nothing but doubt in their hearts. However, even so, no one went to disturb Lin Rei. They all stood there obediently, waiting for Lin Rei to wake up. Night came, and in the blink of an eye, the night disappeared, and the day came. One night passed. Lin Rei looked at the array core, which was emitting a strong blue light. It's finally done. If those disciples and those who look down on me see how difficult it is for me to activate the array, they will probably despise me to death. As he spoke, he stretched out his hand and made a grabbing motion, and the core of the single-direction teleportation array, which was glowing with blue light, flew into his hand. Finally, I can finally go home. Wait for me, I will be back soon. Chapter 1147. Come on, with the last bit of spiritual energy, the single-direction teleportation formation was activated, and they could go home soon. Thinking about how he would be able to go home and see his children, Linley was extremely excited. If someone were to carefully observe Linley, they would discover that right now, Linley's body was trembling slightly at the thought of being able to go home. Because of the excitement, because of the feeling, he had never wanted to go home and see his wife and children so much. Exiting the formation space, he looked at his parent. Dad, everyone, it's almost time to leave. Take another look at this world. Maybe we won't come back in the future. When these words came out, everyone was silent. Yes, they didn't know when they would come back. Maybe it was like what Lin Rei said, if they left this time, they might not be able to come back to this world where he was born and raised in this lifetime. Everyone held hands and walked out of the cave. A cool breeze blew in their faces, and the sun shone on everyone's faces. At this moment, the old man and the others didn't feel that the sun was dazzling. On the contrary, the old man felt that the sun was very beautiful and warm. Goodbye, Destiny Realm. Goodbye. Everyone sighed and closed their eyes. They didn't want to look at this world anymore. If they continued to look, they would leave reluctantly. Looking at everyone's current appearance, Lin Ray understood their feelings. But after all, they had to leave. Although this place could be said to be aloof from worldly affairs and could be considered a paradise, it was still not a place where he could stay. Sigh. Letting out a long sigh, he didn't hesitate and poured the last bit of spiritual energy into the formation eye. Buzz, buzz, boom, the formation eye trembled, followed by a rumbling sound. The single-direction teleportation formation was activated. The single-direction teleportation formation was activated, and blue light instantly rushed out from the ground, wrapping Lin Ray and the others in blue light. The moment the formation was activated, Lin Ray had already prepared an energy shield to wrap everyone up. Although he didn't think that such a bad thing would happen, it was always better to be safe. Moreover, the system's mouth seemed to have been blessed. Generally, the system's words would be verified very well. Lin Ray deeply understood this point. One must know that Lin Ray was the only spokesperson of the system's mouth. Whoosh, the blue light shot up into the sky and enveloped everyone. Then, it dissipated. As for the array formation that enveloped the entire mountain, the moment the blue light disappeared, the array formation also dissipated. No one in the heavenly fate realm knew about this, and no one could detect it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have come to such a remote realm. Lin Ray and the Lin family had completely disappeared from the Destiny world. Lin Yun was completely shocked by his father's actions. What was this? Was this karma? Does Ling Er know about this? Fortunately, Lin Yun was a hierarch realm expert and his heart was strong enough to withstand the news. Otherwise, an ordinary person's heart would have stopped beating long ago. Right now, Lin Yun was most worried about his daughter. He was afraid that she wouldn't be able to take it if she knew about this. I don't know. I've been investigating this matter secretly. Not many people know about it. Moreover, I've warned those who were involved in this matter. No one will talk about it. Don't worry, phew, that's good, that's good. Knowing that his daughter didn't know about this matter, he finally felt relieved. In front of the Xuanzong Sect's mountain gate, it was originally a sunny day with no clouds in sight. The gatekeepers of the Xuanzong Sect were chatting when the sky suddenly darkened. Boom! A loud explosion sounded. The two Xuanzong Sect disciples who were chatting happily felt the natural changes in their surroundings. They immediately circulated their cultivation and became vigilant. What's going on? Using his divine sense to scan the changes in the surroundings, he asked his companion. I don't know. But there must be a reason for this abnormality. Be careful. Chapter 1148. Boom, the rumbling sound became more and more obvious. The two disciples on guard were extremely vigilant. The Xuanzong Sect was an important place. Although it was not a sect that bullied others, it was not a place where anyone could come as they wished. Moreover, the rumbling sound came suddenly. The two disciples had to be vigilant. Who knew if it was a former enemy of the Xuanzong Sect? Boom! Suddenly, when the two disciples on guard were looking around, a blue light accompanied by a rumbling sound suddenly appeared at the main gate of the Xuanzong Sect. Should we report this to the sect leader? Looking at the blue light in front of him, the man asked his companion. His companion hesitated. He did not know if he should report it. After all, if he reported everything to the sect leader would be busy to death. After hesitating for a moment, his companion finally shook his head. Forget it. Let's take a look first. In the end, the two reached an agreement. They would take a look first and report it when things really got out of hand. Then, the two of them became more vigilant and stared at the place where the blue light appeared, as if they wanted to see something from the blue light. Phew, the familiar gate, the familiar concentration of spirit chi, everything is familiar. It seems, I am really back. Within the blue light, Linley's group appeared. The moment they appeared in front of the profound Sect's mountain gate, they sensed the density of spiritual energy around them. Then, they raised their heads to look at the familiar mountain gate. Linley was certain. This was the sect that he had created. This was his home, the Xuanzong sect. Looking at the blue light, the man said, "De Ben, why do I feel that this blue light is emitted by a teleportation array?" "What? A teleportation array?" Hearing the man's words, De Ben looked up and pondered. The man's words were true. Looking at the appearance of the blue light and the aura emitted from it, it was indeed similar to the teleportation array set up by the array formation teacher during their array formation class. The only difference was that there was a big difference and a small difference. It seems that it really is a teleportation array. De Ben finally agreed with the man's words. However, the problem was that teleportation arrays were all equal. Now that there was no teleportation array in front of the gate, how could there be a teleportation array here? Conflicted, incomparably conflicted. While the two of them were in a dilemma, the blue light that was originally soaring to the sky slowly dissipated. Finally, the figures of Lin Ray and his group appeared in the sight of De Ben and De Ben. F***ck, what's this? Seeing the sudden appearance of a group of people, De Ben and De Ben were dumbfounded. What kind of situation was this? Although he believed that it was a teleportation portal, why would someone come to the Xuanzong sect? Furthermore, the aura of the group of people in front of him seemed to be a little too weak. At this moment, if Lin Ray knew what the two of them were thinking, then they wouldn't be able to live peacefully in the future. Too weak? Who are you talking about? This was Lin Ray's family, the master of the Xuanzong sect. How could he say that the master was too weak? Did he have a death wish? From time to time, I feel that the days in the sect are too comfortable, and I should throw you all into the 9 underworlds to experience the cycle of reincarnation again. Seeing the two of them in a daze, Lin Ray frowned and coldly said, "Are you the disciples on duty today?" "Yes, we are." De Ben responded to Lin Ray's words almost without any consideration. F***ck, what are you doing? However, as soon as De Ben spoke, the man on the side quickly elbowed De Ben and said, "Are you crazy? Do you know who they are? Why did you respond to them?" De Ben wanted to refute, but he didn't know what to say. After all, the man was right. Alas, it's really getting worse with each generation? As he spoke, Linley let out a sigh and walked towards the mountain gate. However, what made Lin Ray embarrassed was that when he stepped closer to the sect, the two people who were originally guarding the gate stepped forward and blocked Lin Ray's way. "Handsome, I'm really sorry. This road is blocked. Please take a detour." What? Lin Ray was dumbfounded. What the hell was this? He was blocked at the entrance of the sect, and it was blocked by his disciples. The two of them didn't know that their actions were tantamount to suicide. Lin Ray was very unhappy with their actions. When had he been treated like this when he returned to his own sect? When he was here, from the elders to the servants in the Xuanzong sect, all of them were respectful to him. But now? Things have changed with the passage of time. Things have remained the same, but people have changed? Are you kidding me? How long has it been since he left? However, the only thing he could be sure of was that the two people in front of him were indeed disciples of the Xuanzong sect, but they didn't have the aura of the soul control pill on them. This meant that they were recruited by him. Thinking of this, Lin Ray's helplessness lessened a little. As for Lin Feng and the others who came up with Lin Ray, they also looked at the scene in front of them with a strange expression. Looking at the two people's reaction to his son, Lin Ray, he began to wonder if what his son said before was true. Feeling the suspicious gazes behind him, Lin Rei's heart almost collapsed. Damn, I'm really the superior sect leader here. Roaring in his heart, he raised his head and looked at the two people in front of him. The hatred in his eyes was undisguised. If Kuei Gang was here and saw Lin Rei's expression, he would probably hide far away and wait for Lin Rei to calm down before returning. When you first joined the sect, didn't your current sect leader tell you about the history of the sect? For example, his father, the founder of the Nine Heavens Xuanzong sect, Lin Rei? Don't tell me that the Xuanzong sect doesn't have a statue or any image of the sect leader. This time, Lin Rei was anxious. Although it was very easy to enter, they were still disciples of his own sect. It wouldn't be good to go too far. And this was what he was most aggrieved about right now. Hearing Lin Rei's words, De Ben and Kuei Gang looked at each other. Their expressions seemed to be asking if the other party knew what Lin Rei said just now. However, to Lin Rei's disappointment, the two looked confused. Obviously, they didn't understand and didn't have the proof that Lin Rei said. F***ck, what was I thinking? Thinking about it, I'm the founder of the Xuanzong sect. Now that I've entered the gatekeeper doesn't even know who the founder is. This is too embarrassing, too ugly. Thinking about it, Lin Rei secretly decided that after today, he must make a statue of himself in front of the gate. Not only that, he also had to stipulate that the new disciples must know the founder's appearance and name. Otherwise, wouldn't it be so embarrassing every time he came back like this? Thinking about it, this was very necessary, and it had to be implemented immediately. I say, what exactly do you want? Looking for someone. Revenge? Why don't you say something? Looking at Lin Rei's silence, De Ben couldn't help but ask. As a disciple of the Xuanzong sect, they wouldn't be like other sections. When they see some ordinary people coming to the sect, they would throw them out or even kill them. But the two people didn't notice that at this moment, Lin Rei's face was extremely dark and was on the verge of exploding. Father? Just when Lin Rei's anger was about to erupt, regardless of whether he was a disciple or not, a weak and tentative voice came from behind. Father. Lin Rei was somewhat familiar with this voice, but he still couldn't remember it. He turned around and looked in the direction of the voice. What entered his eyes was a man who looked 70 to 80% similar to Lin Rei. Now in the distance, he was looking at Lin Rei with confused eyes. When Lin Rei's eyes met the man's, Lin Rei was dumbfounded. That was because the man was none other than his son, Lin Rei, Lin Shan. Fuck, what are you doing? My most embarrassing moment was seen by this stinking brat. How am I going to maintain my image in the future? But of course, such thoughts were just thoughts. Lin Li still responded to Lin Shan's call. Come over here and explain to these two idiots who I am. When these words came out of his mouth, Lin Shan was certain that this was his father, Lin Rei, who had been away for hundreds of years. But there was a problem. His father was already home, so why was he still at the sect gate? What was even stranger was that his father wanted him to go out and explain his identity. Although he was puzzled, he still stepped forward and came to Lin Rei's side. He pointed at Lin Rei and explained to the two guards. De Ben, this is my father. He's the father of the Xuanzong sect's sect master, Lin Yun, and the founder of the Nine Heavens Xuanzong sect. Then, he turned to look at his father, whom he hadn't seen for many years. Without saying anything else, he rushed over and hugged Lin Rei. Father, you haven't been back for a long time? Did you miss me? Oh right. Sister said that she had a treasure that she wanted you to refine for her. Oh right. There's also, Mother also missed you. But ever since you came back last time, the two of you have been staying in the secret realm behind the mountain. It seems like you have something on your mind. Plop, a strange sound came from behind. Lin Shan, who had been chattering endlessly like a chatterbox, suddenly stopped talking. When he turned around, he saw that the two were already kneeling on the ground. Their bodies were trembling with their faces pressed against the ground. What are you doing? Although this young master knows that he is very handsome and has a high status, you don't have to do this. Lin Shan didn't understand what they meant. However, Lin Rei smiled. He had finally regained his face. He turned around and looked at Lin Feng and the others behind him. His face was full of pride. Father, mother, this brat is your son in the divine world, Lin Shan. As he spoke, he kicked Lin Shan's buttocks. He glared at him and said, Brat, why aren't you coming over to greet your grandparents and your maternal grandfather? What? Son? Great-grandson? Everyone exclaimed with a strange expression. Even De Ben and De Ben, who were lying on the ground, were terrified when they heard this. They even straightened their backs and looked at the scene before them. However, only Lin Rei looked indifferent. He wasn't surprised by everyone's shock. Well, didn't I tell you about my identity before? Since I reincarnated, now that I have returned to my original body and brought you to the divine world, I naturally have to return to my original life. And I have a sect in the divine world, although it's not very big. 3 sons and a daughter, but speaking of this, Lin Rei's expression dimmed. My eldest son, Jin En, was killed by an enemy in the divine world, so now I have 2 sons, a daughter, and 3 wives. Then, he pointed at Lin Shan again and said, This is my 4th son, twins with my 3rd daughter. Then, he looked at the stunned and shocked Lin Shan and kicked him. Hurry up, do you want me to do it myself? Lin Shan was still confused by the sudden appearance of these relatives in front of him. However, looking at his father Lin Rei's threatening gaze, Lin Shan could only suppress the doubts in his heart and kneel down to kowtow. Grandson Lin Shan greets grandfather, grandmother, grandfather. Everyone. Although they understood Lin Rei's identity, reality limited their imagination. Until now, Lin Feng and the others were still shocked by this scene. Father, mother, grandfather. Lin Rei softly reminded them. Oh right. Lin Feng was the first to come back to his senses. He reached out and helped Lin Shan up. Although he was still shocked, he still accepted it. After all, this was his son's son, which meant that he was his grandson. Little Shan, how old are you this year? This was a very common question, but Lin Rei was stunned. He had forgotten to explain this to his family, but it seemed that it was a bit late. As expected. Seeing Lin Feng ask, Lin Rei smiled honestly and said almost without thinking, I'm not sure, but I should be 1,000 or 2,000 years old. Children really know how to joke. Lin Feng smiled awkwardly and politely. Lin Shan didn't say anything. He could sense Lin Feng and the others' cultivation, so he didn't say much. As the saying goes, the more you say, the more mistakes you make. Well, Father, let's go in first. Lin Rei just wanted to end this embarrassing situation as soon as possible. On the side, Lin Shan looked at his father's appearance and smiled in his heart. He quickly said to save the situation, Yes, let's go in. Before Lin Rei could speak, Lin Shan directly pulled Lin Feng and Huiyun, one in each hand, and walked toward the mountain gate. At this moment, the 2 guards of De Ben didn't stop them as before. Instead, they knelt respectfully and moved aside to make way for them. When Lin Feng and the others left, the old master and the others naturally didn't need to stay, so they followed and left. It's over. We're dead. The 2 people kneeling on the ground watched everyone leave except for Lin Rei. They were instantly soaked in cold sweat. What did it mean to be better off dead? What did it mean to be happier to be dead than to be alive? The 2 people of De Ben were in such a mood now. They couldn't wait for Lin Rei to kill them directly. They didn't want to wait for punishment like this. Although they hadn't seen the methods of the founder of the sect, they had heard a thing or two about the methods of the law enforcement department. You 2, from today on, you're no longer guarding the gate. Go and learn the history of the sect. Damn it, I'm the founder of the Xuanzong sect. One day, I'm blocked outside the mountain gate by my own disciples. Good job. You're the only one. Chapter 1149. At this moment, Big Ben and Big Ben were too ashamed to show their faces. Indeed, as Linley said, in the entire God realm, this matter was probably unique. Lin Ray nodded his head and said, "All right, don't give me that silence is golden act. Do as I said before, go to the law enforcement department to receive your punishment. I'll have to check on you afterwards." "Yes, we'll obey." After the two kowtowed, they stood up and walked into the sect. Lin Ray naturally did not leave the sect gate unguarded. "Little Tiger, I'll have to trouble you for this period of time," Lin Ray said to Little Tiger. "Oh, by the way, Xue Lingtian, follow Little Tiger." He looked at Xue Lingtian Tendo. "What?" Xue Lingtian came out from Lin Ray's sleeve and raised his head to scold Lin Ray. He had already let down his ancestor when he agreed to be Lin Ray's subordinate. Now, he even had to be treated as a doorman. He could not stand it anymore. What? I'm an ultimate god realm demonic beast. What makes you think you can do that? Do you think you're stronger than me? Or is your bloodline nobler than mine?" Little Tiger did not like Xue Lingtian's attitude. In his eyes, Lin Ray was everything. He did not like anyone who disobeyed Lin Ray's orders. For example, Xue Lingtian. Xue Lingtian shuddered when he saw Scarlet Tiger looking like he wanted to eat a dragon. He did not dare to look at Scarlet Tiger. Looking at the two, a smile appeared on his face and he said, "All right, this matter is settled. I'll get Yun to arrange for someone to bring you down." All right, don't worry, Brother Lei. Go ahead." All right. He didn't linger there for long. He turned around and stepped into the Xuanzong sect's main gate. He ordered his men to chase after Lin Feng and the others. Inside the Xuanzong sect, Lin Shan led Lin Feng and the others on a walk. Along the way, Lin Feng and the others were amazed with every step they took. They were amazed by everything in the Xuanzong sect. They had seen sects before. Of course, they were sects in the heavenly fate world. However, the difference between the heavenly fate world and the heavenly fate world was like heaven and earth. Just one palace in the Xuanzong sect was stronger than the entire Cloudwind sect in the Destiny realm. Moreover, the palaces here were all very luxurious, high-end, and high-class. Lin Feng was very excited when he saw them. At this moment, Lin Shan, who was walking beside Lin Feng and the others, had already accepted his family. Looking at the shocked expressions of Lin Feng and the others, Lin Shan smiled and introduced them. "Grandfather, this is the sect that Father founded. This place is a little far from where I live. However, this is good. Let's walk like this so that we can introduce the situation of the sect to everyone." As he spoke, he pointed at the palace in the distance and said, "This place is called the Sky Mountain Range. There should be about 80 to 90,000 disciples in the entire sect. Of course, there are countless sects in the heavenly fate world. A single holy land has over 1 million disciples. Compared to them, our Xuanzong sect doesn't have the advantage in terms of numbers. However, the Xuanzong sect is very strong in the heavenly fate world. It's not an exaggeration to say that if our Xuanzong sect is the second strongest in the heavenly fate world, no one would dare to say that they are the first." When he said this, Lin Feng and the others were shocked. A holy land had over 1 million disciples. Such a sect with 80 to 90,000 disciples was the overlord of the heavenly fate world. How could they not be shocked? However, at the same time they were also very happy. One had to know that this was a sect that their son had founded. Thinking about it, their faces were full of smiles. The old man's face was flushed red. He wanted to see the prestige of the Xuanzong sect. "The palace I live in is called the Sky Palace. It's located in the depths of the sect. The palace is very big, but I usually live alone. Originally, there were subordinates who took care of it, but I coaxed all of them away. After all, I don't need anyone to take care of me. Moreover, I usually cultivate in seclusion for 100 years. There's no point in keeping them. However, since you're here, you might need them. At that time, I'll personally pick a batch for you and let them serve you well. Lin Shan was very happy at this moment. He didn't have the previous estrangement. Perhaps it was because of Lin Rei's actions. However, Lin Shan didn't know that while he was talking, Lin Rei had already appeared behind them. He followed them and didn't say anything. However, when Lin Shan said that he cultivated for 100 years, Lin Rei couldn't hold it in anymore. Although he usually didn't go to the sect, and these sons were also important to him, he still knew about them. The second son, Lin Yun, was usually busy with the sect's affairs and was very diligent. Lin Rei was very assured about this son of his. As for Lin Shan, this fourth son, Lin Rei felt like he was going to die from anger. He was lazy, loved to drink, and didn't like to cultivate. He was a total loafer. When he thought about what he said about cultivation, Lin Rei couldn't help but walk out from behind and give him a kick. "You bastard, you still have the nerve to say that you're cultivating." Lin Rei's voice sounded. Lin Shan shrank his neck and retreated to the side. As for the pain on his butt, Lin Shan didn't care. "Father, shut your mouth." Lin Rei didn't want to hear his rebuttal. He knew his son's character. "Look at yourself. Your cultivation is only at the early stage of the divine general realm. You want to anger me to death." He thought about his own path. In just 4,000 years, he went from an ant with nothing to the saint realm. He didn't expect his son to be so lazy. "Father, you also know that the path of cultivation has to be done step by step. Sister is always in seclusion. How can a girl live a normal life?" Father, please listen to me." Lin Shan seemed to want to say all the words in his heart. When Lin Rei opened his mouth, he was refuted by him. "The last time I saw my sister was 300 years ago. 300 years. She cultivated in her own palace all day. It's fine if I can't see her, but even mother wants to see her. Father, when do you think cultivation will end? If cultivation has to be like this, then it's better not to live on this path." After saying this, Lin Shan closed his mouth and stood aside. On the surface, Lin Shan didn't see anything strange, but only he knew the real situation. At this moment, Lin Shan's clothes were soaked in cold sweat. His legs were trembling, and his heart was beating like a drum. When had his second brother, the sect master of the Xuanzong sect, dared not speak to his father like this? Now, he had done it. However, fear was fear. Lin Shan was right. The last time he saw his sister was 300 years ago. He didn't like this kind of life. He liked to travel and see new things. He didn't like to stay in his palace all day and cultivate day and night. Chapter 1150. The atmosphere was extremely quiet. Lin Feng and the rest heard everything from the start to the end. Their hearts were filled with reluctance and shock. Reluctance was because they couldn't bear to see Lin Shan and Lin Xian in such a state. Lin Xian was also the one who was shocked. She actually went into closed-door seclusion for over 300 years. 300 years, it wasn't as simple as 3 days. At this moment, everyone finally understood that, in the divine world, the thing they didn't lack the most was time. The silence caused Lin Feng and the rest to feel uneasy. Hui Yun, who was at the side, couldn't bear to continue watching. When she came to Lin Rei, a scene that exceeded everyone's expectations appeared. He was sure that this was the most shocking and unforgettable scene he had ever told. "Pa!" Hui Yun came to Lin Rei's side and directly slapped the back of Lin Rei's head without hesitation. "You bastard brat, you are already so strong, why do you still want to force your children? Could it be that as their father, you don't know how to protect them?" Eyes staring at his mother, Lin Rei had an innocent look on his face. He didn't seem to have said anything, right? Why was he the one being slapped now? He couldn't understand, but he couldn't refute. However, in his heart, he silently remembered this grudge. Not towards Huiyun, but towards his son, Lin Shan. Don't tell me you. From today onwards, I don't want to hear from little Shan's mouth that you forced him to cultivate. If not. After speaking, Huiyun raised her hand as though she was saying, if you continue to force me, this mommy will slap you. With regards to this, Lin Rei was extremely helpless. He also didn't want to. He also wanted to stay by his wife's side. But this world didn't allow it. This wasn't the heavenly fate realm. In this place, if you didn't have absolute strength to suppress all life, you would become a fish on the chopping board of others. The final result would be that you would be at the mercy of others. Lin Rei understood that Huiyun and the rest had just arrived in the divine world. Maybe they didn't understand the way of life here. Hence, he didn't argue and could only nod his head in agreement. All right, mother. Whatever you say. I won't force Lin Shan to cultivate anymore. Although he said that, he already had a plan in his heart. As Lin Rei's son, how could he be a loafer without any achievements? Even if he allowed it, the world would not allow him to do so. Without the protection of Lin Rei and the Xuanzong sect, he would be pushed by the cruel rules of this world to become strong. Of course, unless he was willing to put his life in the hands of others. At the side, Lin Shan recovered from his shock and rushed to Huiyun's back. He raised his hand and massaged Huiyun's shoulders with a fawning look. Father, is what you said true? Are you really not going to force me to cultivate? Lin Shan understood that this father of his was an existence that feared neither heaven nor earth. His only weakness was his family. In particular, he did not dare to disobey the orders of his grandparents. Grandma, look, father isn't saying anything. Lin Shan started to act like a spoiled child. Rei, didn't you hear what Xiao Shan said? Huiyun reminded him. Lin Rei was speechless. He looked at Lin Shan, who was massaging Huiyun's shoulders, and glared at him fiercely. Then, he nodded and replied, I understand, mother. He looked up at Lin Shan and said, Don't worry. I came back this time to settle them down. After that, I will leave this world. As for you, looking at Lin Shan, Lin Rei paused for a moment. Then, he continued, I won't care about you anymore. Whether you live or die in the future will depend on your own luck. After all, I can't stay by your side forever. There will be a day when the fledgling will fly alone to find food. You take care of yourself. At this moment, Lin Rei spoke in his own words. He had never said such words in front of his wife and children, but this time, hearing this, Lin Shan was stunned. He felt an inexplicable sadness in his heart. He also felt sad that Lin Rei had to leave after just coming back. Let's go. I'll bring you back to the palace. With that, he waved his hand. A gentle energy enveloped everyone except Lin Shan, and they disappeared in an instant. Father, Lin Rei's actions were too fast. Lin Shan didn't even have time to react before they disappeared. Seeing Lin Rei disappear, Lin Shan felt an inexplicable panic in his heart. He didn't know why, but when he thought of what Lin Rei said just now, he didn't know why, but he felt uncomfortable. That was not the tone of a father talking to his son. In his heart, he regretted what he said just now. In the deepest part of the mysterious sect, in front of the tallest palace, Linley led the group of people and appeared. When the guards who had been patrolling the area saw the sudden appearance of the group of people, they took a big step forward and helped Linley and the others to their feet. What's wrong? Even you want to stop me? Looking at the leader, he remembered that this was the first batch of disciples of the Xuanzong sect. They had been following him since the founding of the sect. More importantly, there was the aura of the soul-controlling pill in his body. You are, when the leader heard Lin Rei's words, he stepped forward and looked directly at Lin Rei's face. The instant he saw Lin Rei's face, he knelt down. Song Wei greets the sect master. This disciple is guilty. Song Wei's actions and his words caused the surrounding disciples to tremble. They also knelt down and said, "We are guilty." "Humph, it seems that you still recognize me." With a cold snort, he ordered everyone to stand up. "Stand up." "Yes, sect master." Everyone stood up and respectfully stood in front of Lin Rei. It seemed that they didn't intend to leave. "Is there anything else?" No. If that's the case, then continue patrolling. Why is your son following me?" Looking at Song Wei's appearance, Lin Rei couldn't help but roll his eyes. "Oh, okay. This subordinate will go now." After saying that, Song Wei came to a realization. He respectfully bowed to Lin Rei and the others and hurriedly left. "Rei, was this sect really founded by you?" Seeing Song Wei leave, Lin Feng still couldn't believe it. Looking at the palace in front of him, such a magnificent place was actually his son's sect. This made him feel like he was floating in the air. It was unrealistic. "All right, father. You don't have to ask this question in the future. I will have Yun-Er arrange for you to be expelled in a while. I will also find a teacher so that you can learn the language of the divine world. As for your cultivation, I will have a hierarch to protect you. This way, you won't have any problems with your cultivation." Since he was going to leave, he had to make arrangements. He couldn't just leave everyone here and leave in a hurry. Hearing this, the old man and the others nodded and chose to remain silent. At this moment, everyone knew that they were in an illusion. "Let's go." After saying that, Lin Rei took a step forward and led everyone to the main hall. But at this moment, he and Kuei Gang were both in the main hall. Young master? What young master?" "I am Lin Yun, young master." Kuei Gang's words caught Lin Yun off guard. Kuei Gang ignored Lin Yun's words and disappeared. When he reappeared, he was in front of Lin Rei. Plop. "Young master, this subordinate respectfully welcomes young master's return." Chapter 1151. Looking at Kuei Gang kneeling in front of him, a smile appeared on his face. He stepped forward and helped Kuei Gang up. "I knew it. I can't hide it from you guys." After all, Kuei Gang and the others were summoned by him from the system. After Lin Rei returned to the Xuanzong sect, Kuei Gang sensed it. Moreover, they were so close to each other just now. More importantly, after Lin Rei broke through to the Saint Realm, Kuei Gang and the others directly broke through to the Saint Realm from the perfected Ultimate God Realm. They crossed 3 small realms and directly reached the perfected Dao Fruit Saint Realm. If Kuei Gang hadn't noticed them at such a close distance, Lin Rei would have considered whether he should change the guards of the sect. "Young master, where have you been all this time?" Kuei Gang asked as Lin Rei helped him up. During this time, Kuei Gang had reached the perfected Saint Realm. However, the good news for Lin Rei suddenly stopped. This made him very worried. Looking at Kuei Gang, Lin Rei fell silent for a moment. Then, he said, "Let's not talk about this for now." After saying that, he turned to look at his parents and the others behind him. "These are my parents, my family. From today onwards, arrange for them to stay in the Luan Tian Palace. It just so happens that you're here as well. My parents are still cultivating low-grade origin qi. After you bring them to the Luan Tian Palace, help them find a top-grade cultivation technique from the library and impart it to them. At the same time, help them build their foundation with medicinal pills. As for the cultivation technique, after testing the attribute of their spiritual roots, find a suitable one for them." As he spoke, he pointed at Kuei Gang and introduced, "Father, mother, grandfather, fourth uncle, he's my subordinate. He's a perfected Dao Fruit Saint. With him protecting you, I believe you'll be able to adapt to life here very quickly." "Okay." Looking at Kuei Gang, Lin Feng and the others nodded and cupped their hands at him. However, this action scared Kuei Gang silly. Plop. Absolutely not. Kuei Gang is the young master's subordinate. You are the young master's family. This kind of etiquette is somewhat inappropriate. Kneeling on the ground with his head lowered, his body trembling uncontrollably, as if he was going through something horrifying. However, this scene frightened Lin Feng and the others. A Dao fruit saint. Although they knew what level a Dao fruit saint was at, it was still shocking for an expert to act like this. As he thought about this, his gaze involuntarily fell on Lin Rei. Looking at this son of his, he felt an inexplicable excitement in his heart. How could Lin Feng, as a father, not feel gratified that he was able to restrain himself despite being so sad? Taking a step forward, Lin Feng adapted to his current identity and helped Kagang up. Alright, don't say that in the future. Since Ray asked you to teach us the cultivation method, then let's not talk about etiquette. As he spoke, he glanced at Lin Rei as if to ask him to adjust. Seeing his father, Lin Feng, stealing glances at him, Lin Rei understood and agreed. Yes, Keegan. Since my father said so, then just do as you wish in the future. Besides, you will be their teacher in the future. As the saying goes, a strict teacher produces a fine disciple. At the very least, you can let them have enough strength in the God realm. In contrast, Kagang understood Lin Rei's thoughts and nodded. Yes, this subordinate understands. Since that's the case, then bring them there. I'm going to find Yun to discuss something. As he spoke, he turned to his family and clansmen. Father, follow Kagang to his residence first. After we finish talking, let Yun and the others accompany Xian to greet you. Lin Feng didn't refuse. Hui Yun also didn't refuse. As the brains of the Lin family, he saw the situation clearly. Go, Kagang will take us. The old man responded. After entering the Xuanzong sect, the old man spoke very little. You could count with 2 hands. And Lin Rei turned and walked towards the main hall. After Kagang saw Lin Rei off, his gaze fell on Lin Feng and the others. He bowed respectfully. Your cultivation is very high. Let's go to the Luan Tian Hall. Kagang wasn't a talkative person. To put it bluntly, he was a taciturn person. He turned and waved his hand. A gentle energy enveloped everyone. Then, he flew towards the east. The Luan Tian Hall was a supreme existence in the Xuanzong sect. It was just that it had been empty for many years. At the entrance to the main hall, as soon as Linley stepped into the main hall, a gaze fell upon him. Lin Rei smiled. He didn't need to guess to know who that gaze belonged to. He looked up and saw a young man who looked 80% to 90% similar to Lin Rei. He wore a loose robe and a purple gold crown. He had sword-like eyebrows and bright eyes. He was very handsome. Looking at the young man and the strand of white hair on his temples, Lin Yun felt an indescribable pain in his heart. You've worked hard all these years. Lin Rei opened his mouth. However, his voice lacked its usual sharpness and was replaced with a trace of gentleness. Father, you're finally back. Lin Yun flashed to Lin Rei's side. The two looked at each other for a long time. Then, Lin Yun gave Lin Rei a tight hug. I missed you so much. A teardrop flowed out of Lin Yun's eyes. The dignified sect master of the Divine World's #1 sect, a mid-stage hierarch expert, was crying. Sigh. Feeling better about Lin Yun's fluctuating emotions, Linley let out a long sigh and hugged Lin Yun tightly while using his other hand to stroke Lin Yun's long hair. All these years, I've made you sit on the sect master's seat and locked you in this cage. You must be tired. I'm not tired. I'm not tired. Lin Yun choked. This sect belongs to Father. Even if I have to sacrifice my life, I will protect Father's sect. I'm not afraid no matter how hard or tiring it is. It's just that. He stopped talking as if there was a fishbone stuck in his throat. He wanted to say something but he didn't dare to. What is it? Lin Yun let go of Lin Yun and looked at his son curiously. It's, Father, you're always outside. Mother passed away early. Aunt Ing and Aunt Bing are always in the secret territory. My younger brother and sister are not around. It's inevitable that I feel lonely. Lin Yun's eyes dimmed. Oh, ha ha ha, looking at his son, Lin Rei couldn't help but laugh. So it was because of this. However, when he thought about it, it was true. After all, Ing and the others weren't his biological mother. As for Xian and Shan one was always in seclusion and the other in this life. Other than his eldest son and his dead wife, the one he owed the most was his son. After thinking about it, he held Lin Yun's hand and walked towards the upper sect master's seat. Don't worry, it won't happen again. Chapter 1152. Father, Lin Yun stopped and turned around to face Lin Rei. His eyes were filled with confusion. He didn't understand what his father meant. What did he mean by not doing it again? Looking at Lin Yun's reaction, Lin Rei shook his head helplessly. Exactly what I said. In other words, I came back this time to deal with some matters and advance to the Holy World. What? You want to go to the Holy World? Lin Yun was shocked. He knew what kind of place the Holy World was. The Holy World wasn't like the Divine World or the Immortal World. It was hard to say if he could come down after going to the Holy World. If he wanted to meet his father again, he had to cultivate hard and break through to the Saint Realm. Only then could he enter the Holy World and reunite with his father. However, more importantly, there weren't many people in the Divine World who could break through to the Saint Realm. Just like himself, he was only a mid-hierarch realm expert, only 2 minor realms away from the Saint Realm. Even so, he didn't dare to estimate the time he needed to break through to the Saint Realm and enter the Holy World. Yes. Looking at Lin Yun, Lin Rei's expression was firm and resolute. Lin Yun knew that once his father made up his mind, even his closest relatives couldn't persuade him to stay. Looking at his father who had just returned and thinking about the scene where they would be separated again, Lin Yun's heart clenched and ached. However, Lin Rei saw Lin Yun's reaction and laughed inwardly. This bastard's news, at least wait until I'm done talking. Shaking his head, he smiled bitterly. All right, I didn't say I'm leaving alone. Why are you acting like this? What do you mean? Lin Yun was stunned on the spot, but a sad smile soon appeared on his face. With Lin Yun's intelligence, he naturally understood the meaning behind Lin Rei's words. Could it be that yes? Without waiting for Lin Yun to speak, Lin Rei interrupted and continued, other than arranging some matters, the most important thing is to bring you and your sister along. You've worked hard during this period. Although your cultivation is high, it's useless if you can't catch up. More importantly, you lack combat experience, which is not a good thing for you. As a result, after thinking about it, only a place like the Saints' World, where prodigies roam freely and sects are everywhere, would be suitable for you to train. Lin Yun was overjoyed when he heard Lin Rei's answer. His gloominess from before completely vanished, and Lin Yun was filled with fighting spirit as if he was ready to set off for the Saints' World at any time to compete with the prodigies of the Saints' World. However, before that, you have to pass the position of sect leader to that bastard Lin Shan. Lin Rei, who was originally in a good mood, instantly lost his good mood at the mention of his son. That scoundrel brat. It's been so many years, but his cultivation is still so weak. Compared to you back then, he's simply too weak. Lin Yun. Looking at his father's disappointed expression, Lin Yun shivered and tried to exonerate Lin Shan. Father, Xiao Shan's character is like that. Since he doesn't like to cultivate, with the strength of our Xuanzong sect, it's not impossible to ensure that he lives a carefree life. Bullshit. Lin Li roared angrily, then continued, How old is he? He's no longer a child. Back then, I had already made a name for myself in the immortal world when I was his age. With that, he strode toward the position of sect leader. A pot of wine appeared in his hand at some point, and he drank as he spoke. It's not like you don't understand how the world is like. Remember Father's words. Apart from your own strength, everything else is illusory. This time, I'll let him understand that without his father, mother, brother, and sister, he is nothing. Lin Yun fell silent. He didn't dare to plead for Lin Shan anymore. He didn't have the guts, especially when he heard the last sentence. He no longer had any thoughts of pleading. All he could do was silently pray for his pitiful younger brother. Pass down the order. This time, apart from the new disciples, all the elites of the sect are to gather in front of the main hall. As for the Xuanzong sect, leave it to him. At least this way, he can protect the people I brought back. Looking at his father, the corner of Lin Yun's mouth twitched. He pitied Lin Shan even more. That, father, isn't this a little too ruthless? After all, he's your son. Back then, we offended too many sects in the immortal world. Our enemies are everywhere. If you do this, you'll undoubtedly leave Fourth Brother in the cracks of those sections. With Fourth Brother's ability, I feel that those new disciples of the sect are a little. He understood what Lin Yun meant, but this was the result he wanted. He wanted Lin Shan to have no one to seek help from. This was the only way to let Lin Shan understand what it meant to be cornered, what it meant to strive for improvement, and what it meant to survive. Thinking of the scene of Lin Shan being forced to cultivate and improve himself, the corner of Lin Rei's mouth rose slightly. This matter is settled. Inform them later. Of course, we still have to leave a group of experts behind. It's not to protect Lin Shan, but to protect his family. Even if the sect is destroyed in the end, they won't be in danger. All right. Lin Yun wanted to say something, but in the end, he didn't say it. The hall quieted down. Lin Rei and Lin Yun sat together and began to drink from the wine bottles in their hands. The news of Lin Rei's return swept through the entire Xuanzong sect. Even Ying and the others in the depths of the secret territory heard the news of Lin Rei's return. In the Xuanzong sect's secret territory, in a picturesque place, there was a small bridge over flowing water and a waterfall. On the shore of a lake, there was a wooden house. Ying walked out of it. Following behind her were Bing and Lin Shan. He was the one who informed Ying and Ying about Lin Rei's return. Mother, you have to talk to Father properly. Just now, I made Father unhappy. Even his tone changed. I've never heard Father address me as this one. What? Ying was shocked. She knew her husband well. If he could say something like that, he must be very angry. Sister, what should we do now? On the side, Bing looked at Ying with a dignified expression and continued, Xiao Shan's cultivation is indeed too low. Even the disciples who recently joined the sect are much stronger than him. You and I know young master's character. He has been fighting and working hard all his life to be able to protect his family. Now, his son has become the person he hates the most. Ying was speechless. Ying was silent. She understood what Bing meant, but it was too late now. If she had known this would happen, she would have hardened her heart and locked up her disappointing son to let him cultivate. Chapter 1153. In the end, they couldn't come up with a good plan, so they could only give up. Based on their understanding of Lin Rei, they knew that this matter was going to be troublesome. Let's go. Since our husband is back, let's go take a look. Maybe there will be a turn for the better. Okay, let's go. The two looked at each other and nodded. Ying turned around and glared at her disappointing son before walking towards the front hall. Oh, that's right. Go and call your Uncle Tian. Tell him that young master is back. After saying that, he ignored Lin Shan and disappeared from Lin Shan's sight in the blink of an eye. Looking at his mother's departing figure, Lin Shan's heart shook. He had no choice but to nod and walk in another direction. News of Lin Rei's return spread throughout the Xuanzong sect. Ying and Bing, Lin Tian, Lin Ling and the others all gathered at the highest and most sacred meeting hall of the Xuanzong sect. In the meeting hall, Lin Rei accompanied Lin Yun and his son to drink. The father and son chatted about their daily lives. Sometimes they cried, sometimes they laughed, and sometimes they sighed. There were wine bottles all over the floor. There were jars, glass bottles, and all kinds of wine bottles. Looking at Lin Yun's tired face, Lin Rei felt even more guilty. He looked at Lin Yun and swore to himself that he would carry out his decision this time. No matter what anyone said, it was useless. Come, let's drink this cup. They should be here soon. With that, Lin Rei raised the cup in his hand and tossed it into Lin Yun's mouth. Lin Yun was excited and happy to be able to drink and chat with his father. It had been a long time since he had enjoyed this kind of life. He had always hoped for this kind of opportunity. Now that it had come true, he was very excited. More importantly, he was able to follow Lin Rei into the holy world. This was the most exciting thing for him. After drinking a cup of wine, Lin Rei gently stroked Lin Yun's hair and said, "Okay, there will be plenty of opportunities to drink in the future. That's all for today. They're here." Lin Yun was stunned when he heard that. He spread his consciousness out and saw a dozen figures in his consciousness. Only then did he understand what was going on. He stood up and cupped his hands, intending to leave his seat. He turned around and walked down. "Where are you going?" When Lin Rei saw Lin Yun turning around, he stretched out his hand to stop him. "Father, your son is going down? Let's sit here. Let's sit together today," said Lin Yun with a smile as he pulled Lin Yun to his side. "Also, the tradition in our hometown is not to call someone father. One should not forget one's roots. Also, I feel a little uncomfortable calling him father." Lin Yun and he both came from an azure planet at the edge of the universe. There, people called their parents mom and dad. What? Have you forgotten? No. I just feel that father is a little different this time. Lin Yun looked at Lin Rei in a daze. He could feel that Lin Rei was much closer to him this time, and he could feel his fatherly love even more. "Hey, you little guy." Lin Rei understood Lin Yun's words. But when he thought about it, he felt that it made sense. In the past, he only knew how to improve his cultivation, and he was indeed lacking when it came to his family. Now that he was in the destiny realm, his personality had changed a lot. "Father." "Yes." Lin Rei felt warmth in his heart when he heard this form of address that he hadn't heard for a long time. This made him feel like he was at home. Just like that, the two didn't speak and sat together, waiting for the people outside to arrive. Not long after, a foot appeared in front of Lin Rei and Lin Yun. Following the appearance of the foot, the owner of the foot also appeared in front of Lin Rei and Lin Yun's eyes. It was a young man. He could be considered handsome, but Lin Rei couldn't remember who he was. However, Lin Rei felt a strong killing intent from him. Looking at him, Lin Rei frowned and began to search his memories. He wanted to see who this young man was. Lin Rei was silent. However, the moment the young man saw Lin Rei, he was excited. He quickly walked up to Lin Rei and knelt down. "Subordinate Shatian greets Sect Master." "Shatian?" Shaishan's voice entered Lin Rei's ears and pulled Lin Rei back to reality. Why does the name Shatian sound so familiar? Lin Rei felt that the young man's name was very familiar, but he couldn't remember where he had heard it before. Lin Yun, who was sitting at the side, noticed Lin Rei's expression and his face fell. He quickly reminded, "Father, you subdued him in the mysterious sky sect." Back then, Shatian was still young. Subdued in the mysterious sky sect? Hearing Lin Yun's reminder, Linli was stunned. He raised his head and looked at Shatian. This time, Linli looked very carefully. Adding on the fact that he had subdued Shatian when he was in the mysterious sky realm, Linli quickly remembered this Shatian. "Ah, you brat, quickly get up. This time, Lin Rei completely remembered. Back then, because he had subdued Shatian, he missed the chance to save his wife and child in the immortal world. Shatian didn't disappoint him. He was originally an ant, but now, he had cultivated to the great Circle God Emperor realm. Sensing Shaishan's cultivation, he wasn't far from the Supreme God realm. Lin Rei also felt that if Shatian wanted to break through to the Supreme God realm, he could do so at any time. Sect Master, you didn't forget about me just now, right? Shatian stood up and looked at Lin Rei. Lin Rei was silent. Lin Rei felt helpless against Shaishan's straightforward personality. As the saying goes, see through but don't say it out loud. Seeing that his father wasn't speaking, Lin Yun quickly tried to smooth things over. Uncle Shatian, you must be joking. How could my father forget? It's just that you've grown too handsome recently. My father hasn't been back for a long time, so it's inevitable that he's unfamiliar with you. Ha ha ha. Seeing Lin Yun like this, Shatian laughed and said what he wanted to say. Lin Li's gaze fell on Lin Yun, his eyes filled with admiration. From the way Lin Yun handled things, he was indeed suitable to be a leader. It seemed that letting him be the sect master all these years was the right choice. He retracted his gaze and looked at Shatian again. Brat, quickly pack up after this. Who knows, I might have to go to the Holy World after this. Holy World? Hearing Lin Rei's words, Shatian was dumbfounded. He felt that he had misheard. You're going to the Holy World? Yes, why? Can't I enter the Holy World? Seeing Shaishan's current expression, Lin Rei was speechless. What? You don't believe me? As a God Emperor, Shatian quickly retracted his expression and calmed himself down. Sect Master's strength is unparalleled. It's only a matter of time before you enter the Holy World. However, from what Sect Master said just now, you want to bring me to the Holy World. It seems like you want to bring me into the Holy World. Yes, are you willing? Lin Li understood Shatian. It would be strange if Shatian wasn't willing to help such a warmonger. As expected, just as Lin Rei had this thought, he heard Shaishan's reply. I'm willing, of course I'm willing. I'm already sick of the divine world. I heard that the saintesses in the holy world are very beautiful. Who knows, I might be able to find a wife there. Lin Rei was speechless. Shaishan's request. Lin Rei didn't dare to agree. He thought that Shatian would challenge the saintesses and saintesses after entering the holy world. What was going on now? Just as the two of them were conversing, more and more people arrived at the main hall. Ing and Bing were the leaders. When they saw that Lin Rei was fine, they were filled with excitement and relief. Greetings, Sect Master. Everyone bowed to Lin Rei. And all of you can rise. Looking at the people below, Lin Rei revealed a smile. He hadn't seen many of them for a long time. Little Tian is back too. Lin Tian's arrival made Lin Rei's eyes light up. Lin Rei was very happy to see this brother of his, who had gone through life and death with him. Young master, you're finally back. Hearing Lin Rei call out his name, Lin Tian was so excited that he almost revealed his face. Ever since he knew that Lin Rei had used it, he was so anxious that he went to look for him. In the end, he was sent back by the space-time storm. Although he was injured, after a long period of recuperation, coupled with the abundant spiritual energy and pills in the divine world, those injuries were insignificant. Alright. Everyone will leave in a while. Let us brothers have a good chat. Then, he looked down at them. These people could be said to be the mainstay of the Xuanzong sect. The smile on his face disappeared the moment he saw them. His cold and dignified face returned to its original cold expression. This time, I'm sure you all have heard some rumors. This time, I'm going to enter the holy world. Once again, I'm going to take away a large number of disciples of the Xuanzong sect, including the current sect master Lin Yun. What? As soon as Lin Ray finished speaking, the people below were shocked. Their faces were filled with disbelief. What, do you have a problem with that? The commotion below made Lin Ray a little unhappy. No, we don't dare. Everyone fell silent again. Every one of them listened quietly. No one said a word, even though they were puzzled. In a while, I'll ask Yun to gather the people. This time, the entire Xuanzong sect, except for some new disciples, will follow me into the holy world. However, the sect cannot be without a leader. So, I've decided with Yun that Lin Shan will take over as the Xuanzong sect's sect master. Boom! As soon as he said that, it was like a bolt from the blue that struck Ying's head. At the same time, everyone turned to look at Shadow. They did not understand why Linli had made such an arrangement. Sect master, this matter is settled. Seeing that Bing was about to speak, how could Lin Ray not know what she wanted to say? From today onwards, Lin Shan will be the sect master. The sect will kneel, and the sect's protective array will remain. If you don't want to be bullied and want resources, you can only watch as he becomes stronger. In this world of deceit, where only the fittest survive and the fittest are eliminated, you can either become strong and become the undefeatable ruler of this world, or be trampled under the feet of others as a slave. You can be played with or killed by others. As for what Lin Shan wants, it will depend on his own awareness. No one can protect him forever. As soon as he said that, everyone fell silent. Lin Yun wanted to plead for mercy, but he had seen the scene just now. In the end, he chose to keep quiet. Ying had no strength left. The only reason he was still here was because Bing was pushing him from behind, not letting him fall. The next thing is your luggage. After you're dismissed, go back and prepare. As for when you're leaving, wait for my notice. Then, he turned to Lin Yun and said, Yun, the rest is up to you. You can decide what to do. Remember what I told you before. Whoosh. Lin Yun stood up and cupped his hands to Lin Ray. Understood, Dad. So, then, he turned to look at the day below and said, Let's go, little Tian. Accompany your brother for a walk. After saying that, his figure flashed and appeared at the entrance of the hall. Lin Tian glanced at Lin Ray, then flashed and left with Lin Ray. Puff. The moment Lin Ray left, Ying couldn't help but fall to the ground. Her face was pale. Thinking about Lin Ray's words, she had the urge to stay and protect her son. Sister, Lord Husband had no choice. After all, Xiao Shan's cultivation is too weak. Even if he's not compared to Yun, he's still inferior to Xian. Although he didn't want to say it, looking at Ying's appearance, Bing couldn't help but say it. She wanted to refute, but as soon as she opened her mouth, it was as though she was choked by something. After Lin Ray left, Lin Yun sat on the throne and looked at the crowd below. He said, Cultivation. Since father has said so, then everyone should go and prepare. In front of a palace, Lin Ray and Lin Tian appeared. They had complicated expressions on their faces as they looked at the palace. Astral River Hall. Young master, this is where Xian cultivates. However, it seems that she has been in seclusion for 300 years. Her cultivation wasn't weak at all. I wonder what level she has reached after so many years. Lin Tian, who stood behind Lin Yun, spoke. Is that so? Honestly speaking, even as a father, he didn't know. Thinking back to the past, his heart was filled with regret. He didn't care about his children at all. He instantly released his divine sense and communicated with Lin Xian, who wasn't cultivating. Xian, when one was cultivating, if one forcefully barged in, it would definitely cause one's cultivation to go berserk. However, communicating with one's divine sense wouldn't cause any side effect. In the Astral River Hall, a woman sat cross-legged in the center. She was clad in Taoist robes and her hair was untied. Her countenance was delicate and her features were pure. She was a peak-grade beauty. However, the only thing that could be said about her was her ice-cold countenance. When paired with her countenance, it caused others to tremble in fear. Who is disturbing this seat's cultivation? Her originally tightly shut eyes abruptly opened as a sharp light flashed through them. The coldness in her aura intensified as a heaven-shaking killing intent gushed out from her body. What's going on? Lin Yun could feel the heaven-shaking killing intent. Lin Rei froze as he cast a puzzled glance at Lin Tian beside him. I don't know. Xian Er's aura seems to have already stepped into the initial phase of the Divine Monarch realm. After carefully sensing, Lin Tian was completely dumbfounded. How long has it been? The cultivation of a junior almost caught up to him, an elder who fought alongside her father. Something's not right. This aura seems to be the heavenly strength of ice? Lin Rei didn't understand. The heavenly strength of ice was a cultivation art that Lin Rei found from the system. Those who cultivated this cultivation art would have to endure bone-chilling pain every day before they could succeed. Because of this, Lin Rei placed this cultivation art at the highest location in the library. But why would it appear in his daughter's possession? Also, from the level of her cultivation, it seemed that she had already reached the 5th level. Chapter 1154. Lin Rei truly couldn't understand. He remembered that the cultivation art he imparted to his daughter back then wasn't the mystic ice heavenly art. But now this sort of technique seemed powerful, but it was actually quite powerful. However, because he had to endure the bone-chilling frost every day, as Linley saw it, this sort of technique was simply too cruel, and so Linley had sealed it away. He would never have imagined that in just a short period of time, his daughter would actually cultivate the cultivation art he sealed away. Lin Rei, who was at the side, was also stunned. He also didn't know about this. He had been out for a period of time and didn't return to the sect. Hence, he was completely unaware of this point. This lass, why, Lin Rei had a helpless expression on his face. He really wanted to know what this lass wanted to do exactly. Within the Astral River Hall, Lin Xian had just awoken from her cultivation. But from her cold countenance, one could tell that she was extremely enraged, so enraged that she wanted to kill someone. She was in the midst of cultivating and was at the most crucial moment. Who knew that she would be disturbed? More importantly, the greatest taboo of cultivation was to be disturbed by others. But now, someone actually dared to disturb her. Furrowing her brows, she opened her eyes and stared at the entrance as killing intent gushed forth from her. I don't care who you are. Since you disturbed this seat's cultivation, you have to pay the price. Standing up, she released her cultivation. The temperature in the surroundings was already below zero, but at the instant Lin Xian released her cultivation, the entire space seemed to be frozen solid. Boom! The sealed doors abruptly opened as Lin Xian's silhouette abruptly appeared at the entrance. Her gaze swept through the surroundings, and at the instant she saw Lin Rei and Qin Wentian, her killing intent was instantly retracted. Even her cultivation art was retracted to the extreme. And as for Lin Rei, he could feel the killing intent and coldness radiating from Xian. Lin Rei started, but at the instant when he saw her retracting her killing intent, his frozen countenance eased by quite a bit. From Lin Xian's performance earlier, it was already clear that the mystic ice heavenly art had an effect on her. Father? Lin Shan's reaction was extremely similar to when he first saw Lin Rei. Both of them spoke in a probing tone, as though Lin Rei's appearance was something inconceivable. With regards to this, Lin Rei felt extremely guilty in his heart. His stiff face squeezed out a smile as he nodded. I'm back. Swish! As the sound of Lin Rei's voice faded, Lin Xian's to Lin Rei transformed. She stretched out her hands and hugged Lin Rei. Tears fell from her eyes and she said in a choked voice, You're finally back. I haven't seen you for a long time. After he finished speaking, his words became unclear. In the end, he completely let go of the pain. At the side, when Lin Tian saw this scene, he retreated to the side and didn't disturb the parents. He sat there quietly and didn't say anything. Woo 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 woo. Lin Rei's heart-wrenching cries drifted into his ears. Each and every cry was like a sharp dagger that pierced into his heart. Since young, other than Lin Rei, this daughter of his was the most resolute. But now, she had become like this. Lin Rei understood that everything was his fault. He stretched out his hands and hugged Xian gently stroking her back and silky hair. Tears flowed from his eyes as he said, "Cry, cry, cry. Everything will be fine once you cry it all out." Just like that, he quietly listened to Xian cries. Lin Rei didn't stop her. He understood in his heart that it was a good thing for her to let go of all the grievances that had accumulated in her heart. Time slowly flowed by. Lin Rei didn't know how much time had passed. He only knew that he was standing at the same place. The sun had already set and Xian cries gradually stopped. The entire Xuanzong sect was bustling with activity because of Lin Rei's orders. At this moment, Lin Shan also knew of Lin Rei's orders. This order was a merciless blow to him. He didn't think that his father would do such a thing. He really wanted his mother to plead for mercy, but I stopped him, telling him the pros and cons of this matter. Lin Shan was still considered sensible. After hearing the pros and cons, he didn't say anything. In the end, he could only silently accept this fact. In the Astral River Hall, Lin Rei sat on the steps in front of the hall. Lin Xian was lying on Lin Rei's lap. In addition, the golden rays of the western sun shone down on Lin Rei and Xian. This scene was extremely peaceful. Looking at his daughter lying on his lap, Lin Rei spoke in a gentle voice. "Xian, I remember that when I left, I didn't give you this mystic ice heavenly force. But why did your cultivation art change after I returned? Not only that, the mystic ice heavenly force you're cultivating has already reached the 5th level." Standing up, she looked at her father with a resolute expression on her face. "Father, you weren't around and I couldn't see you. But every time you encountered danger, your daughter couldn't help you. With Brother Yun taking care of the sect, I felt that I was too useless. So I wanted to cultivate faster. Well, back then when I was in the library, I saw the mystic ice heavenly force sealed by you. So I broke the seal, and after reading the introduction of the mystic ice heavenly force, I resolutely decided to cultivate this cultivation art. Am I right?" Lin Rei finished Lin Xian's sentence. "Yes." With regards to this, Lin Xian didn't hide it and boldly admitted it. At this moment Lin Rei panicked. He didn't expect that the reason why Lin Xian wanted to cultivate this cultivation art was because of him, her father. When he thought of how painful it would be to cultivate the mystic ice heavenly force, Lin Rei couldn't bear for his daughter to continue cultivating. "Xian, why don't we do it this way? If you want to cultivate, Father will give you an even stronger and better cultivation art. You should give up on cultivating this cultivation art. This cultivation art requires you to endure too much pain every day. Father can't bear for you to suffer every day. Do you understand? During these years, the reason why Father worked so hard was because I didn't want you to suffer, I didn't want you to be burdened. I wanted to be able to protect you all. Father, Father." Lin Xian suddenly spoke. Lin Rei's voice rang out. His eyes were filled with bewilderment as he stared at Lin Xian. "Daughter wishes to cultivate this cultivation art." A resolute expression flashed in Lin Xian's eyes. For 300 years, daughter had to endure the pain every day. After all these years, daughter has already gotten used to such pain. In addition, daughter has comprehended many things from this cultivation art. Daughter wishes to continue cultivating. Daughter wish to cultivate. Lin Xian's words directly choked Lin Rei, causing him to have no way to continue speaking. "All right, Father, let's not talk about this matter anymore. Lin Xian didn't wish to linger on this matter for too long. A smile appeared on her face as she changed the topic. "Oh right, father, why did you come back this time? How long will you be staying?" Ai. He understood Xian meaning and let out a long sigh. "This time around, I came back to make some arrangements. In the future, I will bring you all to the sacred world." "What? Sacred? Sacred world? Father, could it be that you?" Lin Xian's eyes were filled with disbelief as she stared at Lin Rei. She could vaguely guess something in her heart. One must know that one had to be a half-step saint at the perfection paragon stage, or a half-step saint, directly breaking through to the saint realm. Now that her father said that he would be heading to the sacred world, didn't that mean that her father's cultivation base had already transcended this world? Staring at the shocked expression on his daughter's face, Lin Rei smiled proudly. He stretched out his hand and stroked the bridge of his daughter's nose as he spoke in a doting tone, "Little lass, you are truly intelligent." With regards to the matter of his cultivation base, Lin Rei didn't intend to conceal it. And with regards to his daughter and his family, Lin Rei had no need to conceal it. "You are right. Your father's cultivation base has already broken through to the saint realm, surpassing the limits of this world. The reason why I haven't left yet is because I intend to bring you all to the sacred world. Hence, this time around, follow father. When we arrive at the sacred world, Father will find some cultivation resources for you, allowing you to break through to the 7th level of the mystic heavenly art of ice faster. After that, Father will find a high-grade cultivation art similar to the mystic heavenly art of ice that doesn't have any side effects. In that case, you won't have to endure the bone-chilling cold every day. I can enter the sacred world as well?" With regards to Lin Rei's words, Lin Xian didn't pay attention to the latter part of his words. She was focused on the matter of entering the sacred world. "Of course you can." At this moment, Lin Tian, who had been standing at the side silently all this while, walked over. He continued, "Young master's strength can never be compared to the strength of this world. Back then, young master brought our Xuanzong sect to the immortal world from another world. At that time, we had yet to meet the requirements to enter the immortal world." As he spoke, Lin Tian stared at Lin Rei, his eyes filled with worship and respect. "Uncle Tian." Upon seeing Lin Tian walking over, Lin Xian hurriedly stood up and clasped her hands in greeting to Lin Tian. With regards to Lin Tian's existence, she was extremely clear. Ever since she was born, she knew how important Lin Tian's existence was. Hence, no matter if it was Lin Shan or her, or even Lin Yun who had already broken through to the Empyrean realm, they no longer dared to be impudent in front of Lin Rei. "Haha, Xian I haven't seen you in so many years. You are so beautiful. As the saying goes, a single glance is enough to topple an entire country. Compared to those so-called holy maidens and goddesses, you are so much more beautiful." Haha, Lin Tian's words not only caused Lin Xian to laugh, even Lin Rei was amused by Lin Tian's words. He understood Lin Tian very well. Lin Tian had never been one to bootlick, but now he was actually acting like this. Lin Rei felt somewhat bewildered, but he liked the current Lin Tian very much. "Uncle Tian must be joking." Lin Xian bowed as she spoke humbly. However, from the smile on her face, one could tell that she was very fond of such praise. "Father, Yargh." A scream of agony rang out from Lin Xian's mouth. The originally cold atmosphere, after Lin Xian's scream, plunged to the freezing point. And this sudden surge of cold qi naturally originated from Lin Xian's body. Not good. Upon feeling the coldness, Lin Rei hurriedly hugged Lin Xian in his embrace, instantly releasing his cultivation to resist the cold qi. "Little Tian, hurry up and seal this place up. Don't let anyone pass through here. Those who disobey will be killed without mercy." Right now, the side effects of Xian's cultivation art have appeared. This process is somewhat long, I have to use my own cultivation to suppress it. Upon hearing this, Lin Tian's countenance turned heavy as he nodded his head. He understood the dangers involved. Don't worry, just leave this to me. After speaking, Lin Tian didn't stay any longer. His silhouette flickered as he vanished from his original location. Not long after, the entire Jianghe Hall was sealed by a terrifying energy. Hee little Tian, this fellow isn't simple either. To think that he actually learned such a terrifying sealing technique. After glancing at the seal, Lin Xian lowered his head and stared at his daughter who was wrapped in frost. Ai, this lass. Lin Xian sighed. The mirage spirit blood fire instantly rushed out, transforming into a weak wisp of energy that was controlled to the extreme by Lin Rei. After which, he placed his hand that was wrapped in the mirage spirit blood fire onto Xian Er's back. Swish! The mirage spirit blood fire entered Xian Er's body. Under Lin Rei's guidance, the mirage spirit blood fire began to circulate through Xian Er's meridians. Although the heavenly force of ice was terrifying, it was still nothing in front of the mirage spirit blood fire. With the circulation of the mirage spirit blood fire, Xian Er's body, which was originally ice-cold, suddenly regained a trace of warmth. This lass is not bad. She has courage, I like it. The voice of the little dragon suddenly rang out. In the next instant, the little dragon appeared beside Lin Rei, its gaze landing on Lin Xian. You bastard, since you're here, you better think of a solution for me. How is my daughter? Is there any way to resolve the flaw of this cultivation art? Looking at the little dragon, Lin Rei seemed to be grasping at a life-saving straw as he asked. Looking at Lin Rei, the little dragon hesitated for a moment before speaking. There is, but you have to wait until you enter the sacred world. The system's scripture depository will allow you to access the second level of the cultivation art. Over there, you will find the solution to your daughter's cultivation art. The second level of the scripture depository? Lin Rei stared at the little dragon in bewilderment. He had entered the system's scripture depository many times, but he had never seen a second level of the scripture depository. Yes, the second level of the scripture depository. With regards to Lin Rei's question, the little dragon rolled its eyes. Who said that the scripture depository only has one level? Although it's only one level now, when you enter a higher dimension or when your cultivation reaches a higher level, the scripture depository will appear. You haven't seen it before. See, after obtaining the system for so long, you still haven't figured out the layout of the scripture depository. Lin Rei was speechless. With regards to the little dragon's question, other than being speechless, Lin Rei truly didn't know how to describe his current feelings. With regards to the system, what he knew now was merely the tip of the iceberg. If he wanted to understand the system, he still had a long way to go. Just as Lin Rei was in deep thought, the originally unconscious Lin Xian suddenly moved. Hurry up and return, don't delay my treatment of my daughter. Now that he knew and had a solution, it was useless for the little dragon to stay here. Not only that, the little dragon's soul was in a corporeal form and others could see it. Heartless. Within the system, the little dragon couldn't help but grumble. However, Lin Rei couldn't hear it. He retracted his thoughts and lowered his head to look at his daughter, his expression filled with concern. Xian, how are you? Are you feeling better? The mirage spirit blood fire was still roaming freely in Lin Rei's meridians. Under Lin Rei's control, the mirage spirit blood fire wouldn't harm Lin Xian. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.